Three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. What time is it? It's 9, 10, 11.
Shisho is dead? No. Do you think he did it? Oh no. If he did, then what do we do? Hey, pull yourself together. Don't worry. I have an idea. I don't know who that could have been. I'm just gonna hope that it was a guy, not a girl. Oh, sound like that matters. Okay, whatever. May 13th, 9:45 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 6. Who am I gonna be playing as Athena now, or? Yep. What the heck? Who brings a defendant to his own trial late? Plus, the request was so last minute, I didn't even have a chance to talk with my client. He's late for a very important date. My name is Athena Cykes. Armed with analytical psychology and a full arsenal of legal know-how, I'm a fully competent defender of the Right Anything Agency. Though I wish my client would show up already. The trial's about to start. I have a suspicion on who this could be, but I'm not gonna... I'm gonna wait until it's confirmed. Huh? It appears we made it just in time. Where have you been? The trial's about to start, Simon. Yeah. You need to get so worked up, Athena. His boldness can wait. There's no way he'd wait for me. Besides, why would I want to start off on the wrong foot with him right out of the gate? Dealing with such matters is part of being a lawyer, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, well, covering for your lateness is not. Still but a rank amateur, I see. This is Simon Blackwell. He might not look it, but he's actually a prosecutor and a psychology specialist. He and I go way back. As for our shared specialization in psychology, we're both disciples of the same person, so to speak, but he's kind of my senior, I guess. A twisted sense of humor or no, I wish he'd stop treating me like a child all the time. So, where are Right Dono and Justice Dono? Mr. Ryder's abroad, and Apollo is helping Trucy with her magic show. Didn't I tell you? They're what? So neither one of them are here, leaving you to take this on alone? Yep. Ye gods. Call Right Dono back. It's not too late. Oh no, not too late at all. How? You would only need to know how to teleport. Tisk. Very well. Then I will settle for Justice Dono. Go grab him by the horns and drag him here. Apollo is literally in the middle of a show, Simon. You may not want to admit it, but I've got what it takes to take on this case. Just leave this to me and go watch from the gallery. As your defense derails in spectacular fashion. No, as I win the heck out of this trial. I'll be okay. Promise. So wipe that look off your face already, will you? Anyway, I take it the guy behind you is... Yes, here's your... Tisk. He's asleep again. Oi, Bucky, wake up. Oh, what'd you do that for, Simon? Hick. Oh. Who's this yeller? Oh. Okay. We're going for like a simple small town hick type accent.
What you do that for, Simon? Huh? Who's this yellow chickadee?
She is your lawyer, such as it were. I'd say she's more green than yellow, however.
Lawyer? She sure doesn't look it, does she? Is she like your fellow apprentice or something?
Something like that. I've known her longer than I've known you. You could say we're bound to one another.
Oh, okay. Well then, guess I better call her Miss Chickadee then.
Simon, this guy's not only rude, but he's 3 sheets to the wind at his own trial. I know we just met, but I'm about ready to give him a piece of my mind. Do as you will. Just save it for after the trial.
Miss Chickadee.
Don't call me that.
How do you do? Simon here is an old friend of mine. I'm the 4th generation head chef for Wet Soba. Wet noodle number 4, Bucky Whet. Nice to meet ya.
It's nice to meet you too, Mr. Whet. So he can pull himself together when he wants to. Grr, if only the trial wasn't starting in a few minutes. Having been accused of murder that only occurred yesterday, I'm afraid it's taken a toll on the poor boy. And you happened to be there at the theater where it all happened too, right? They said they found a rakugo storyteller murdered in his dressing room. Indeed. The victim, Master Storyteller Taifu Toneido, was a long-time patron of Wet Soba. Master Toneido had been looking after Bucky ever since Wet Noodle number 3 passed away. I see. So the victim was kind of like a father to the defendant, huh?
That stupid old fart? Like a father? No way. I was always dishing my soba.
How dare you speak ill of him? Running your mouth like that is why they suspected you of his murder in the first place. Now pull yourself together. Number 3 must be rolling in his grave.
But, Simon, the police, none of them believes me. They won't listen to me.
Looks like he's still in shock from the whole ordeal. Don't worry, Mr. Whet. Everything is going to be alright. I'm going to defend you with everything I've got. You're in good hands now.
You mean, you believe me, Mum?
Of course. No matter what, I'll believe in you to the very end.
Gee whiz, Miss Chickadee.
Now come on, I need you to shape up. Just like those al dente noodles of yours.
Yes, Mum. My soba is the freshest.
Mr. Whet? Sigh. Bucky, you great big pillock. So, how exactly do you know this guy? I used to frequent Wet Soba, and still do, in fact, so I've known him since he was a lad. That's why his father and Master Toneido were always so good to me. I didn't know you liked soba so much, Simon. I wouldn't expect one such as you, who eats meat slapped between slabs of bread, to understand the delicate taste and the subtle textures imparted by buckwheat flour. Hey, that's just rude, but I digress. I'm all about flavors and subtlety and stuff. If I let Wet Soba end like this, I'll never be able to face number 3 or Master Toneido in the next life. Ah, I see. And that's why you came to me. You wanted somebody you could trust. It was never my intention to ask you. Grrr. I'll show him I can handle it just fine. Well, I believe it's just about time. What? But we haven't even properly discussed the case yet. What's the matter? You look nervous, Athena. Don't tell me you're chickadeeing out. I'm just trembling with the excitement of battle. That's all. Off gets. Let's do this. Come on, Mr. Whet. Get up off the floor. We've got a case to win.
Yes, Miss Chickadee. I'm gonna do my best.
Wet soba, wet soba, wet soba, wet soba, wet soba.
Yellow, 2 bells and noodles. Sorry, sir. No can do. Kinda busy at the courthouse. Huh? They hung up. Okay, let's do this.
He's not going to do himself or his case any favors like this, Simon. Maybe we should let him go get some rest somewhere.
Me rest? Ha! Maybe if I were a lumper. Maybe if I were a lump of regular flour dough for udon noodles. I'm fresh like my soba.
And you don't let soba do the rest. So about the three freshes. Grind the buckwheat seeds fresh, cut the dough fresh, and boil the noodle.
He's blacked out. Oh boy, I just knew something like this would happen. Simon, what are these three freshes of soba we were talking about?
First, buckwheat seeds, or groats, are ground to make buckwheat flour. Then dough made with this flour is cut with a large rectangular knife into noodles. And finally, the buckwheat noodles are boiled. Each step is done immediately, one after the other, so that the soba is fresh when eaten.
Oh, so that's what he meant. I wouldn't want him to make me any soba right now, though, that's for sure.
Athena, this is no time for idle chatter. You need to get into the courtroom. Now, just remember, as a prosecutor, I will be unable to lend you a hand. So don't expect any help from my quarter.
There you go, treating me like I'm incompetent again. For your information, I wasn't planning on asking you for help anyway. Grr, just you wait, Simon. I'll show you. Mr. Ryder and Apollo may not be here, but that's alright. I can do this on my own. Well, let's hope so. May 13th, 9:50 a.m., District Court, courtroom number 4.
Court is now in session for the trial of Bucky Whet.
The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution is fully prepared, Your Honor.
What's this? No prayer this time, Prosecutor Satmati.
That is correct, Your Honor. To expedite these proceedings, I completed them beforehand in the lobby.
How very thoughtful of you. By the way, what brings you back to this country?
Chief Prosecutor Edgeworth himself called on me to handle this case. Besides, I have a debt to repay, and though my opponent is yet a callow thing, I have no qualms with sending her down to hell.
Objection!
If you have a score to settle, it's with Apollo, not me. But more importantly, I am not a callow thing. I'm a qualified and capable attorney. Then what is that yellow attire if not proof of your immaturity, you small spring chick? Now, cease your shrill chirping.
Now, Prosecutor Satmati. She's still only a teenager. Please go easy on her.
Great. Now even the judge is giving me the kid treatment. Very well. Shall we begin, Your Honor?
Yes, I suppose we should. Now then, Prosecutor Satmati, please give your opening statement.
I'll show them what I can do. They'll be sorry they underestimated me. Certainly. Let the last rites of the victim commence. The incident is believed to have occurred at around 4 p.m. yesterday, May 12th, at a Storyteller's theater called Kurukuru Tei. The victim was a great master of the Toneido school of rakugo, or comedic storytelling. His name was Taifu Toneido. The scene of the murder was the theater's dressing room. It is accessible by the staff entrance hallway, and has an inner and outer sliding door. Okay. The estimated time of death is between 2 p.m. and 5 p.m. He was killed in the... Where was he killed? The dressing room. Okay, got it. The estimated time of death is between 2 p.m. and 5 p.m. The cause of death is suffocation, though how the victim suffocated is yet to be determined. The autopsy found nothing unusual in his lungs or stomach, and there is no murder weapon. I will now submit the incident report to the court. Found with his face thrust into a large silver ball. Okay. Time of death between 2 and 5 p.m. Cause of death, suffocation. Prosecutor said, Marty, how can you name Mr. Whet as the culprit when you don't know how the victim was killed, or even with what? While it is true that the weapon and precise method are as yet unknown, the accused is the only one who had the opportunity to commit the murder. I will explain this assertion in further detail as we continue. I guess this means he has some kind of evidence to present. Now, would the accused care to plead his case?
Come to think of it, where is the defendant, Miss Cykes?
Sorry, Your Honor, but I'm afraid Mr. Whet isn't feeling very well and is resting in the infirmary.
Surely it is the lack of a clear conscience that impedes him from facing this court.
Great. Starting off on the wrong foot already.
Mr. Whet is the head chef of a soba shop frequented by the victim. On the day of the incident, Mr. Whet went to the theater at the victim's request. Taifu Toneido is a connoisseur of soba, as you can see in these photographs. He was apparently making soba himself in his dressing room that very day. The soba found at the scene is likely the soba he himself made there.
Liking soba is one thing, but making it in a theater's dressing room's a bit much, non?
Master Toneido truly had a passion for soba, didn't he? For a man like that to be murdered by a soba chef is simply unthinkable.
And yet, the accused had ample motive, for in the victim's safe we discovered the deed to the accused's shop. Mr. Whet was to inherit Whet soba when he lost his father recently. However, it is believed the victim stole the shop's deed during the transfer process. The prosecution believes the accused killed the victim in order to get the deed back. That's not good.
Murder over the deed to a shop. That does sound like a possible motive.
So that's what this case is about? I wish Simon had filled me in a little better. I could have contributed more than just 1,000 buckets of cold sweat if he had. Defense? From your demeanor, I gather you know very little about the details of this case. Well, you see...
You are dishonoring the soul of the victim by appearing in the courtroom unprepared. You are an embarrassment to your profession. You putrid egg woke!
Yig! Egg woke. I'm sorry. Apollo's a red pepper and now I'm an egg yolk. We've only just started and I've already been demoted from spring chick.
I am ready to call my witness, Your Honor. Let us listen to the words of one who was present when the crime was discovered.
Someone who was there when the victim's body was found.
Very well. Witness, please take the stand.
Is it going to be someone we know? Oh, I guess so.
Witness, please state your name and occupation.
Simon Blackwell, prosecutor.
Prosecutor Blackwell? You didn't tell me you were going to take the stand.
There simply wasn't time.
What a shame, Prosecutor Blackwell. Had you shared the damning scene you witnessed beforehand with the defense, we could have moved this trial along and saved the victim's soul that much faster.
Damning scene?
What in the world did Simon see?
Prosecutor Satmarty, was it? Before I give my testimony, there's something I'd like to confirm.
By all means.
This case involves a rakugo, a very traditional form of Japanese comedic storytelling. Do you have enough knowledge of this art form to handle this case competently?
Are you implying that I am not qualified for this case?
Not yet. I am simply trying to ascertain your familiarity with the topic. For now.
It is a prosecutor's duty to learn the background of any case he takes on. I did some research on rakugo last night and have grasped the overall idea of it.
How much could you possibly grasp in a single night?
Rakugo is a form of entertaining storytelling that originated in the land of Japan. In it, the storyteller sits alone on the stage with only a fan and a towel. And the rakugo artist tells long, whimsical stories, giving each character a distinct voice. This tradition art was originally invented by monks to make sermons more interesting. Are you satisfied? If not, I could explain the 12 types of endings to such stories. Or shall I perform the famous story of Jigimu instead?
It appears you have put in a bit of study.
Your acknowledgement is most welcome, Prosecutor Blackwell. I can see why you're known for being quite thorough in your research, Prosecutor. Now, I would love to see you perform that story you mentioned, if you don't mind. If that is your Honor's request. Jigimu, Jigimu.
Your Honor, could we please get back to the trial?
Oh, right, of course. I nearly forgot.
Seriously? Of all the things for you to forget.
Ahem. Now then, back to the case. Prosecutor Blackwell, please show this court what you witnessed.
I kind of wanted to hear the story, too. Oh well. Maybe later.
I went to the theater yesterday and arrived at approximately 4 p.m. I went straight to Master Tornado's dressing room to say hello. Bucky went to the dressing room thereafter, only to come storming out a while later. Master Tornado's junior disciple, Uendo, apparently then entered the room soon after. That's when Uendo discovered Master Tornado's body.
Now wait just a minute here, Prosecutor Blackwell. With testimony like that, you're practically accusing Mr. Whet of the crime.
All I can do is state what I saw. I can't help how it appears. But a qualified and capable attorney such as you should be able to dispatch with it, right?
Well, yeah, duh. Alright, I guess I better start by getting all the info out of him that I can. Alright, well, on the bright side, it's not like he witnessed Mr. Whet killing the victim right away. Like, there is some wiggle room here. It's not much, but it's better than nothing. So, all we gotta do now is find a way to wiggle out of this predicament of ours.
I went to the theater yesterday and arrived at approximately 4 p.m.
Prosecutor Blackwell, what did you go to the theater for in the first place?
I went because I had received an invitation from Master Tornado. Here, see for yourself. It was a special show commemorating his junior disciple Uendo's promotion. It was also an occasion to announce the boy's succession to the stage name of Uendo II,
So what exactly does it mean to succeed to a stage name?
Huh, you really don't know, do you? In the performing arts, a name succession is when an artist inherits a predecessor's name.
I see. So there was another Uendo rakugo artist before, and this disciple succeeded him, huh? And what exactly did your invitation say?
It contained a simple letter of salutations and an outline of the show's program.
Oh, it appears Taifu Toneido is going to perform Toki Soba, or Time Soba. He's famous for his masterful pantomime of eating soba, using only his fan as a prop. And Uendo was to perform Soba Sai, or Soba Glutton, a soba-themed show, I see.
It seems you know a thing or two about rakugo herself, your boldness. The first to perform was the senior disciple, Geiru.
Geiru?
Geiru, followed by Uendo, and lastly, Master Toneido.
Okay. I see. So that's why you happened to be at the Storyteller Theater yesterday. So there's Geiru, Uendo, and Taifu. Taifu is the master. Geiru is the senior disciple, and then Uendo is the apprentice, sort of. Okay. So what happened after you arrived?
I went straight to Master Tornado's dressing room to say hello.
And how did Master Tornado appear when you said hello to him?
I went with the intention of greeting him, but ultimately, we didn't actually meet.
You didn't see him? Why not?
Geiru escorted me to the dressing room, but we heard the sound of rakugo being performed from within. Thinking the master was rehearsing, we decided to wait in the hall until he was done.
You heard rakugo being performed in the dressing room?
Yes, not just me, but Geiru as well.
In other words, you can confirm that the victim was still alive at around 4 p.m.
Correct. I couldn't hear him clearly through the doors, but I'm sure it was Master Toneido. I could tell because it was the time server routine being performed in there.
So that means the victim was killed sometime after that.
Bucky went into the dressing room thereafter, only to come storming out a while later.
Please tell us in detail how Mr. Whet appeared at the time.
Geiru and I were waiting in the hallway for Master Toneido to finish practicing, when Bucky appeared and entered the dressing room with his things.
What happened after that?
We heard what sounded like Bucky shouting inside the room. About 10 minutes later, Bucky came back out of the dressing room looking rather irate.
This is most likely when the murder was committed. The victim was an elderly man. It would have been entirely possible to kill him within the span of 10 minutes. I better come up with some kind of counter-argument and fast.
Master Toneido's junior disciple, Uendo, apparently then entered the room soon after.
What do you mean by apparently? Didn't you see him go in?
No, I couldn't. I wasn't able to see the dressing room door from there where I was... I wasn't able to see the dressing room door from where I was standing at the time. But Geiru was right in front of it, so I'm sure she saw it all.
I see. And why do you suppose Uendo went to the dressing room anyway?
He had just finished his routine, so he was making courtesy call. A disciple is to pay their master respect right before and after each performance.
And all disciples are expected to do this?
Yes, it's common courtesy among rakugo artists.
I see. Could you tell us what happened after Uendo went into the dressing room?
Certainly. That's when Uendo discovered Master Toneido's body.
And how did Uendo act at the time?
After Uendo had been in the dressing room for 2 or 3 minutes, we heard a scream from inside the room, and Uendo came flying out.
Did you hear any signs of a struggle at that time?
No, just Uendo's woeful scream.
I see.
Well done, Pascal Blackwell. Your testimony has given us quite a glimpse into the sequence of events.
Thank you, Prosecutor Blackwell. And now, please allow me to summarize your testimony. While Prosecutor Blackwell and Geiru were in the hallway waiting for Master Toneido, the accused came along and entered the dressing room with some items in tow. He was heard shouting for a time inside the dressing room, and about 10 minutes later, he came back out of the room seeming rather angry. A short time after the accused had come and gone, Uendo Tornado went into the room. A few minutes later, after having discovered the victim's body, Uendo gave a scream, and came running out into the hallway from within. Prosecutor Blackwell and Geiru then ran into the room and saw the body for themselves. From the circumstances, it is quite clear that the accused murdered the victim.
This is crucial testimony indeed.
It could have also been Uendo. Defense, an eyewitness has given conclusive testimony. Why not let it all go now and allow the victim his last rites? Not on your life. If Uendo went to the dressing room too and was the first to discover the body, then who's to say he didn't commit the crime? Uendo was in the dressing room for a mere 2, perhaps 3 minutes. He could not have possibly committed murder in that time, nor without making any noise. Oh, Simon, why did you have to give that awful testimony? If he died by suffocation, how would he have managed to let out a voice? All he had to do was cover his nose and mouth. And like he said, he was an old man, so... Prosecutor Blackwell, can't you give me something a little better to work with here?
Isn't it up to you to ask the right questions? I'm certainly willing to tell you all that I know. So if you truly are as capable as you claim, then draw out what you need yourself.
This is no time for your twisted games, Prosecutor Blackwell. Just admit you don't remember it all that well. Prosecutor Blackwell. Watching you collude with a defense like this, I see you're no prosecutor. Begone, witness! You shall haunt this sacred hole no more!
Huh. How dare you treat me like some evil spirit to be exorcised? I remember this, you blackguard.
Don't worry, Prosecutor Blackwell. I've got this. Would I have my way, he would not be the only one here to step down. You half-boiled putrid egg yolk! I object to the notion that I'm a gooey, smelly mess. Prosecutor Blackwell's testimony was like the lowly opening act of a rakugo show. He may hold the title of prosecutor, but this time he stood on the side of the defense. To restore balance to this trial, I would like to present an actual witness for the prosecution.
And who is this witness?
The person who was with Prosecutor Blackwell when the body was discovered. She is another entertainer of the Toneido School, Miss Geiru Toneido.
Please state your name and occupation, witness.
Hello, everyone. I'm here to represent the Toneido School with a twisty twist twist. And bloom! There you have it, a stunning balloon hat. It's me, the balloon artist y'all know and love, Geiru Toneido. Just call me Geiru, sweetie. 1, 2, balloon!
What a way to capture your audience's attention! I dare say I can't take my eyes off those balloons!
Please tell me you're talking about the hat, Your Honor.
Oh, Mr. Judge, I'm so glad you liked my performance. Would you consider joining my fan club? Pretty please.
Oh, absolutely!
Please save your fanboying for after the trial, Your Honor. Anyway, Geiru, I can't help but notice you seem awfully cheerful for having just lost your master.
Of course I'm sad, but Shisho would scold me if I didn't put on a big smile. Never show sadness. Smile, smile, smile with a twisty twist twist. And blue, there you have it. One gorgeous cake.
I see. I guess an antenna's gotta do what an antenna's gotta do. A balloon art's worse than a Rorschach test. All I saw was a severed monster head. Geiru, you're obviously a balloon artist, so how did you come to be a member of a rakugo school?
Well, my father, my late father that is, was a rakugo artist, you see. So I joined the Toneido School to be just like my daddy someday.
I see.
My father and I owe so much to Shisho, our master, but that Bucky Whet, oh, how could he? I want to see him pay for what he's done as quickly as possible.
Your distress is entirely understandable. My condolences for your loss.
And not only that, but hey,
You have more to say about Mr. Whet?
every time he comes to deliver soba to us, he yells at me. He always tells me to get away.
Is there any reason why he would say such a thing to you?
He says the smell of my perfume will get into his soba and ruin it. Like, how can he say that? This is a great scent.
How very rude of him. I don't blame you for being upset.
Excuse me, Your Honor, but please don't let Geiru's balloons bias your judgment. Mr. Whet hasn't been proven guilty yet, remember? Huh. It will be interesting to see how long that fire of yours will last, defense. Now then, Geiru, please share the truth with this court.
Yes, Geiru. Your testimony, please.
From 4 p.m. to a little after 4:20 p.m. when Shisho's body was found, Simon and I were standing in the hallway in front of the dressing room. Before Uendo discovered the body, the only person who had gone in there was Bucky. Come to think of it, a little while before Bucky showed up, Jugimo was barking like mad.
Prosecutor Blackwell, do you have any objections to this witness's testimony?
No. Tisk. Make up your bloody mind, sad monk Sadmati. First you exercise me, now this.
You need only do as you are instructed by this humble servant of the Holy Mother. As there are no objections, Your Honor, let us move on to the salvation of the victim's soul. Hey, I'm the defense attorney here, Prosecutor Sadmati, and I just might have an objection or two once I actually cross-examine the witness. So what are you asking Prosecutor Buckwheat for? I'm the one you should be checking with. There is a passage in the sacred scriptures of Curianism. To stir the wind is beyond the power of a spring chick. In other words, the inexperienced are useless. With that in mind, it seemed more judicious to consult Prosecutor Buckwheat.
He doesn't even see you as an adversary, Cykes, don't you?
Well, I won't let either one of you insult me. I'll show you I'm no inexperienced spring chick. Your Honor, I'm ready to cross-examine the witness.
I hope you can make Prosecutor Sadmati see you as a worthy adversary, Miss Cykes. I'll allow you cross-examination, so he'd better strike while the iron is hot.
Alright, though. I think I might have an idea on what to object to. Maybe, maybe not. Inside the envelope was a ticket to the show and a letter from the victim. The letter contained a simple greeting and a rundown of the show's program. Geiru was to perform her balloon act, Uendo was to do his soba glutton routine, and Master Toneido was to perform his time soba routine. Master Toneido was confirmed alive at 4 p.m. Bucky Whet entered the room at 4:10, left at 4:20. Discovered the victim's body behind the Bucky. Okay. From 4 p.m. to a little after 4:20 p.m. when Shisho's body was found. So the murder must have happened sometime in those 20 minutes, correct? But 20 minutes isn't a lot of time, is it? I don't know. I mean, what do you want me to say? That's what happened, you know. Isn't that right, Simon?
Yes, Geiru and I can both confirm that Master Toneido was still lived at around 4 p.m.
Oh yeah, you can, can't you?
See?
Simon and I were standing in the hallway in front of the dressing room. The fact that the two of you were there in front of the dressing room means you were able to see everyone who went in and out, right?
Of course! Or are you insinuating that I was daydreaming or sleeping while standing up or something?
No, of course not.
I saw everything, I tell you.
Fine. So you say anyway, but did you really?
Before Uendo discovered the body, the only person who had gone in there was Bucky.
Only the defendant and Uendo entered around the time of the murder.
That's right. That's why it must have been Bucky who killed poor Shisho.
Let's take a deep breath, okay, Geiru? So, not a single other person set foot into the dressing room during that time.
I already told you over and over, didn't I? There was nobody else.
I must apologize on the law's behalf. Even her memory is that of a spring chick's. Please overlook her transgression as best you can.
Oh, I see. Poor thing. Hang in there, sweetie.
Hey, who are you calling a bird brain, buddy?
Come to think of it, a little while before Bucky showed up, Jugimu was barking like mad.
Jugimu?
That's my doggy. I keep him at the feeder. Let's see. With a twist, twist, twist. And bloom! There you have it, my cute little Jugimu.
He's kinda creepy looking.
Oh, but he's a really, really good boy.
And why was Jugimu barking? Do you think it's because he saw someone suspicious? If so, then we'd have a new suspect in this case.
Now why was he barking again? Oh, I remember. Because it was time for me to feed him.
So I went into his yard and gave him some food. Couldn't somebody have slipped into the dressing room while you were doing that? Nope, the door out into the yard was wide open. I would have seen if anybody went into the dressing room. Prosecutor Blackwell, come down to the stand for a sec, please.
Huh, how many times must I do this?
You saw what Geiru was talking about, right? So why didn't you mention it before?
Huh, I can't be expected to remember every minute detail.
Well, remember them now, please. Did Geiru go out into the yard?
Yes, I remember now that she went to feed Jigimu. And I saw her looking towards the dressing room quite frequently as well.
Do you recall anything else?
It looked as though she were feeding the dog a great quantity of dumplings or something. Jigimu couldn't finish them all, so he buried the rest in a corner of the yard. That's about all I can remember.
Looks like Geiru was telling the truth. But that's not where the doghouse is. The doghouse is on the other side. Maybe he wasn't. Maybe he wasn't in his doghouse. Your Honor, I'd like Geiru's last statement added to testimony.
As you wish, defense.
I was in the yard, but the door was wide open, so I could keep watch on the dressing room. You know what this means, right, Geiru? You weren't in the hallway the entire time after all, were you? Well, okay, so I did go out into the yard, but it was just for a second. And the yard door was wide open, so I could still see the dressing room the whole time. The door was open, so she could still see the dressing room. Prosecutor Blackwell, I need you on the stand again, please.
What am I, your lady-in-waiting?
Do you remember anything about the time Geiru was in the yard?
Simply that Jigimu buried the food he couldn't finish in a corner of the yard. That's about all I can remember.
Thank you. I don't really need to hear about the dog again, though. When I finished feeding Jigimu, I returned to the hallway, and then I saw Bucky go in the dressing room. No question about it. Okay, so around the time of the murder, Geiru and Simon were hanging out just outside the dressing room. Guess I'm gonna have to find a floor in there somehow if I want to get anywhere. Nothing found in the lungs, okay. Uendo discovered the victim's body by 4 body in the theater. Okay. I think it's just that, okay, so if you open the door, if the door was wide open, then her point of view would be blocked. I think that's it. So, let's see.
Objection!
There we go. So, you're able to keep an eye on the dressing room while you were out in the yard. Is that correct? That's right. The door out in the yard was wide open. Sorry, but that makes zero sense. Take a look at this diagram of the backstage area. There is a clear contradiction between this diagram and the witness's testimony.
Oh? I'm afraid I don't understand, Miss Cykes. Please point out what contradicts the witness's testimony.
This area? Should I point at the door specifically, or?
Take that!
Should be good enough. Geiru was in the yard near the doghouse. Prosecutor Blackwell even saw her there. And while she was out there, the door to the yard had been left open.
Oh, I see.
Yes, if the door to the yard was wide open, as Geiru said, it would have blocked her view, making it impossible for her to see the dressing room. What? No way! But even if there were, admittedly, a few moments Geiru was not keeping watch, how much would that really affect this case? It would greatly affect the case. From the spot Prosecutor Blackwell stood, he couldn't see the dressing room either. Anyone could have entered the dressing room during that time without being seen. Hey! Geiru, why did you try to hide the fact that you weren't watching the dressing room? What?
Objection.
Hide the fact? You speak as though you think she had something to do with the murder. Rather than deliberate deception, it was more likely a simple oversight. Right, witness?
Well, I was so shocked by what happened, I was just confused, that's all.
Even though she is trying to keep up a brave front as an entertainer, the truth is that she is being torn apart by grief. For her mind to be in turmoil is hardly unexpected. Yes, it must be very difficult indeed. To a disciple, one's master is akin to a real parent. Surely her shock is immense. The way this lord tries to pin the blame on this poor soul at the first opportunity. All I can say is, defense attorneys are heartless creatures indeed.
But I wasn't. That wasn't what I was trying to do.
Is it beyond your comprehension, defense? Your unskilled argument is scaring this witness even further. And if we ask the people of this courtroom, I'm sure they would agree.
What? The Geiru doesn't get a say in this.
Are you afraid to find out that they think ill of you? Or that perhaps you are in the wrong? Listen to them now with that keen sense of hearing you are so proud of.
He's right, that was harsh. He didn't have to go that far. I feel kind of sorry for the witness. Why is the lawyer's outfit so yellow?
No, I was trying to find the truth. Why is the whole gallery siding with Prosecutor Sadmadi?
The people understand. They know what is right and what is wrong.
That lawyer's still training, isn't she? Why is she all by herself?
I hear the voices of the gallery. I can hear the voices of their hearts. So intense. I feel so alone up here, fighting by myself.
Are you afraid, child? It is ludicrous to come to trial with such paltry preparation of the soul. I command you to leave this courtroom at once.
But I can't give up. I have to keep pressing on. As long as there was a moment when nobody was watching the dressing room door, the defendant can't be convicted solely on Prosecutor Blackwell and Geiru's testimonies.
Even now, you would continue to resist. You are childish in defeat as well, I see.
I'm not out for the count yet, Buster. I'm just getting started.
Despite your posturing, is it not true that your resolve could crumble at any moment? With but a little push, you would surely succumb to despair. A little push such as with this piece of conclusive evidence.
Conclusive evidence, huh?
That is correct. We found a critical piece of evidence at the scene of the crime. The victim's dying message, which clearly implicates the accused, Bucky Whet. Look at these Japanese playing cards, known as karuta, lined up on the table. These special English version karuta cards spell out a message. That message, wet number 4.
Wet number 4? You mean wet noodle number 4?
Yes, wet noodle number 4, as the fourth head chef of Wet Soba is also known. This message points to none other than the accused Bucky Whet.
No!
That makes perfect sense, doesn't it?
Wow, great job, Mr. Prosecutor.
Oh no, this is really, really bad. What do I do? What do I do? That's very inconvenient.
Would you still carry on your futile fight in the face of this irrefutable evidence?
You can say whatever you want, but we won't know until we...
It is cruel to give the accused false hope. You will only compound his suffering. Wise people of the courtroom, do you not agree?
He's right, it's cruel to make him suffer when there's conclusive evidence.
What an incompetent noob! I feel bad for the victim and the defendant.
What? But I'm trying to prove Mr. Wet's innocence here.
I know you can hear them, defense. Their voices implore you to save the accused's soul. It is time for you to let it go and move on, you inexperienced lawyer. You lack the competence with which to accomplish anything meaningful here.
Is he right? It's just too much for me to handle on my own.
What good is she doing anybody? She could just quit right now.
Grung.
Now, defense. Leave everything to this humble servant of the Holy Mother.
Silence.
He's trying to use your keen sense of hearing against you to manipulate the trial, Athena. What a cheap trick for a supposedly holy man.
Simon.
And you fop daughters in the gallery, can't a man watch a trial in peace? This inexperienced amateur is about to turn the trial around.
Does that prosecutor really think she can turn things around?
The mood in this courtroom is starting to change.
Prosecutor Blackwood, what are you doing at the defense's bench?
I grew bored of watching from the gallery. Besides, if I were to leave this trial to the spring chick and lose my favorite sober shop in the process, I'll be quite cross.
You voluntarily stand on the side of impurity and sin. Truly, what a fool you are.
To think you are so easily manipulated by his parlor tricks. Whatever happened to qualified and capable, Athena?
I just let my guard down a little bit, but it won't happen again.
Then gird up your loins and steel yourself a battle.
I'm not girding up anything in this skirt, but I am ready to get serious.
Seems there's now yet another soul I must cast down into hell.
I was in prison for a long time, and hell sounds no worse than cell, to be honest.
Ah, but the fires of hell will not be the end of your suffering. For the sin you have just committed, you shall surely be reborn as a panda in your next life. A white and black reverse panda, that is. And you shall be put in a zoo to be exposed to public ridicule.
A threat like that won't work on Prosecutor Blackwell. Exactly, are you kidding me? I'd love to be a panda. All they do is lay on their backs, eat a bunch of sugar cane, and hump each other. Sounds like a perfect life. After all, he's already used to looking like a panda in this life.
Who are you calling a panda?
Sorry.
I see that you are both prepared to face the fires of damnation. Geiru, thank you for your service. You may step down now.
Okie dokie. Bye-bye, balloon. Take your balloons with you. Does everything have to be about balloons with it?
Now, now then. I have a witness prepared to testify about the character cards. And who is the witness this time? The first to discover the body, and someone who witnessed the crime scene firsthand. Mr. Uendo Toneido. The time has come for that ponytailed pair over there to finally let it all go and move on. Very well, let's bring in this witness then.
Curious to see what he looks like.
Witness, please state your name and occupation.
Should I carry on with the southern accent or try something else? I am the rakugo storyteller, Uendo Toneido. Yeah.
I'm the rakugo storyteller, Uendo.
No. Let's see. How many accents are left?
I am the rakugo storyteller, Uendo Toneido.
Yeah.
I am the rakugo storyteller, Uendo Toneido. I am the rakugo storyteller, Uendo Toneido.
I don't know.
I'm the rakugo storyteller, Uendo Toneido.
I'm the rakugo storyteller, Uendo Toneido. I am the rakugo storyteller, Uendo Toneido.
I am the rakugo storyteller, Uendo Toneido.
I'm the rakugo storyteller, Uendo Toneido. I'm the rakugo storyteller, Uendo Toneido.
I am the rakugo storyteller, Uendo Toneido.
I am the rakugo storyteller, Uendo Toneido. I don't know. I'm starting to run out of accents. I don't know.
I am the rakugo storyteller, Uendo Toneido.
That's just Japanese again.
I am the rakugo storyteller, Uendo Toneido.
I'm the rakugo storyteller, Uendo Toneido. I mean, it's too similar to Geiru's voice. I'm the rakugo storyteller. Alright, you know what? Let's do German. It's been a while since we did a German accent.
I am the rakugo storyteller, Uendo Toneido. Even if my performance isn't worth watching, I will certainly watch my words. I wouldn't want to say anything thoughtless and get arrested. After all, that'd be a rakugo. Thank you, everybody. Good night.
Hold it!
You can't leave yet. You've only just introduced yourself. Oh my. Are you a fan of mine, miss? Would you like my autograph? One moment. What do you think you're doing? No need to stand on ceremony. My fan deserves a fan, after all. A fan for a fan! Nice one! Oh, why, but it's Simon! How are you on this fine day, sir? Quite a deal of a pickle we found ourselves in, would you say?
I don't believe I've ever seen you talk quite so much, Uendo.
Never performed in a place like this, you know. I got butterflies here, can't you see? Why do I always get the weird ones?
Pardon me, Winters. As much as I enjoy your banter, I believe we had better return to the case at hand.
Ah, I suppose you're right. In that case... I was promoted to Futatsumi yesterday and received the stage name of Uendo. The show was our way of celebrating my new name and middle rank standing.
And then that happened. I never dreamed something like that had happened. Not in a million years. And just as I got my chance to start repaying my debt to Shisho too.
Yeah, plus I'm worried about Geiru. The way she clung to Shisho, poor thing. I told her to keep a stiff upper lip. Stiff like rigor mortis.
Keep telling those lame jokes and Shisho'll come scolding from the grave.
I wouldn't mind getting yelled at, you know, if it meant seeing him again. Uendo, please, as charming as your various characters are, this isn't a rakugo stage.
Let us hear your testimony now, witness. Tell the court about the evidence left at the scene, the proof of the accused's guilt.
I noticed Shisho's dying message right away. The stiff cards were right there next to the stiff, you see. Hey now, enough of the silly puns already, hee. Anyway, I got the meaning right away. I knew it must have been talking about Bucky. That was the master's final message, left as he was drowning in sober broth. It so like Shisho not to write Bucky's name outright. Plain and simple was it his style.
Well, that was certainly a more entertaining testimony than usual. The variety of characters performed by the witness was absolutely splendid.
But he shouldn't be performing any characters in the first place, Your Honor. And, Uendo, the murder weapon hasn't been determined yet. So how can you say the victim was drowned in sober broth? It's obvious. All you have to do is look at the crime scene. He was found with his face shoved in a bowl.
It's all natural to assume he was drowned in the broth for the noodles.
Except we're not here to assume things, Uendo, so please stick to just the facts.
My, it's so like a sober chef to kill someone this way, wouldn't you say? And with the character message he left behind, it's clear Bucky Whet did it.
Setting aside the issue of the murder weapon for now, that dying message certainly does seem to be irrefutable evidence. Indeed, it proves the absolute guilt of the accused.
You know, I've got to admit that I can't see how that message could mean anything else. Someone tamper with the cards, I wonder?
Bucky used sober for the deed, all to get back the sober shop deed.
So somebody makes Mr. Whet look super guilty. I have to do something.
That's his conclusive evidence. What a farce.
What do you mean, Simon?
What's this? I thought you said you weren't planning on asking me for help.
I did, and I won't. Thank you very much. Simon must have found an inconsistency in the testimony. I better listen carefully and try to see what he found. I didn't pick on anything there. I didn't pick out on anything, but to be fair, I wasn't really listening carefully. I noticed Shisho's dying message right away. Uendo, when you saw the cards on the table, what made you think they were Master Tornado's dying message? Well, it was a coded message right there next to the body. I'm sure anybody would have thought that they were there to name his killer. I love murder mysteries and often watch them on TV. I see. I saw a similar scene during a murder mystery marathon last Tuesday. That's what made me think this must be a dying message. The stiff cards were right there next to the stiff, you see. The cards were on the table your master's body was slumped over, right? You must have been surprisingly calm to notice them at the time. As I said, the stiff cards were right there next to the stiff, so they were hard to miss. But wouldn't it have been more natural to notice the victim rather than the cards? The message just caught my eye because the stiff cards were right there next to the stiff. Yes, but that fact hardly seems significant enough to make a person take note of them. Stiff cards next to the stiff. So basically, there was no real reason for them to catch your eye, was there? Sigh. Hey now, enough with the silly puns already, hee hee. That's right. I need you to give your testimony, not perform a scene. Please remember you're on the witness stand, not the stage. But look at all these wonderful people in the audience. It's only natural for an entertainer to want them to have some fun. Hee I guess we can let a few jokes aside, right?
The inevitable bleeding of your work into other areas of your life. I know how that is. I find myself being unwittingly judgmental in my personal life too.
Right. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Well done, Your Honor. Guess you can't judge a judge by his cover.
Ho ho ho! I advise the defense not to be so critical of the witness.
Yes, Your Honor. Much obliged. Anyway, I got the meaning right away. I knew it must have been talking about Bucky.
Hold it!
The cards do spell out wet number 4, which could be interpreted as wet noodle number 4, I guess. I suppose you took this to mean Bucky Whet. There's only one wet noodle around here, and you've seen that giant 4 on his back. It's the only interpretation that makes sense. Yeah, I guess so. But wait a minute. Ooh, what is it? What if there's another wet noodle in the area? What? Did I say something strange?
Bucky is the sole heir to the shop, so enough with the ludicrous straw grasping.
Hey, how was I supposed to know?
Just listen to this testimony again and find the glaring inconsistency. That was the master's final message, left as he was drowning in sobobros.
Oh, oops.
Hold it!
So the victim lined up those cards in his final moments? How can you be so certain that's how it went down? No, Shisho. I know Shisho. He would never let someone get the last word on him, even in death. With his face in the silver brass and his consciousness fading away, he left a message that pointed toward Bucky as he left this world. It's the only way it could have happened. Wait, the only way? Now you're just speculating.
Look, a dying message is something you leave as you're dying, right? I saw a scene like that in a detective show.
Uendo, we have a saying in my country, silence is more precious than diamonds.
Please do not speak any more than is necessary.
But talking is my livelihood, you know. I talk all the time. This and that, truths and untruths. I can't stop myself from talking. Hopefully he'll stick to the truths without any of those untruths.
It's so like Shisho not to write Bucky's name outright. Plain and simple wasn't his style.
Hold it!
But don't you think it's strange? Could a dying person really leave such a convoluted message? Even in the throes of death, it was in Shisho's nature to throw in a twist somehow. Truly the consummate entertainer till the very end, don't you think? Was he really that great of a man, Simon?
It would have been no easy task, to be sure. But who knows? He wasn't an entertainer for 55 years for nothing.
If I ever bite the big one like that, I want to leave a message as good as Shisho's. Hee. Well, let's hope it never comes to that. Simon, are all rakugo artists like this?
It's hard to say. It could simply be the eccentricity of an entertainer, or perhaps he's hiding something.
Well, he doesn't have to entertain people in a court of law. And if he is trying to hide something, maybe it will show up as a contradiction or something. Okay. I mean, if he was face down in the soba bowl, then how would he know that his cards are spelling out the message that he wants them to spell out, right? That's my argument.
Objection!
That didn't work. Well, gas incoming. Widget, shush! You're not supposed to tell.
That strange device says what you're really thinking, doesn't it, Miss Cykes? In other words, the only real nonsense here is your wild guess, isn't it?
Youch! Et tu, Widget? Plain and simple wasn't his style. Oh, plain and simple wasn't his style. And then the contradiction is this?
Objection!
Shit. Witness's statement is absolute nonsense, Your Honor, and this evidence proves it. Really? Okay. Come on. That was a good guess. Come on. Plain and simple wasn't his style. And he sends a simple letter. Simple invitation. Well, what else is there? Okay, maybe I'm presenting on the wrong statement. Maybe Sif cards right there next to this. I mean, technically they're not next to him; they're in front of him. Really? I mean, if that's the fucking answer, then I'm not gonna be happy. Let me try.
Objection!
Okay, good. I was gonna say, there's no way. It's not gonna be like such a technical thing. Alright, well. What's the matter, Athena? Have you been bested by Prosecutor's side monk already? Of course not. I just don't have any idea what to do. Huh. Your expression tells me you have no idea what to do. Then here's my advice. Why don't you try focusing on this statement here? Though what it contradicts with, well, I'll leave that to you to puzzle out. Why can't he stop with the mind games and just tell me which piece to present already? Anyway, I better try comparing the evidence with the statement he showed me. Okay. We already tried to present the crime scene photo, but that didn't work. So... okay, well, I don't... Are you kidding me? No way. That's not the fucking answer, is it? The fact that there was nothing in his lungs and he said drowning in soba broth? Fuck off. Don't. I swear to God.
Objection!
Seriously? Who gives a shit? There is a contradiction in Uendo's testimony. So the fact that he was face down in the bowl, he couldn't, in no way could he know what the cards would say. That's not a contradiction. And the fact that simple is not his style, even though we have evidence to show that simple is his style. Nope, that's also wrong. No, the contradiction that he didn't drown. What the hell?
And would you care to explain where, Miss Cykes?
Certainly, Your Honor. According to the autopsy report, nothing unusual was found in the victim's lungs.
Oh, yes, it does say that, doesn't it?
If he had drowned in a bowl of soba, then there should have been soba broth in his lungs. But since there wasn't any, it means the victim was suffocated with something other than soba broth.
What?
This is the contradiction you notice, isn't it, Simon? Not bad at all. I guess I showed you.
But if drowning in the soba broth wasn't the cause of death, then when was the victim's face thrust into that bowl?
Taifu Toneido's face was thrust into the bowl. Because no soba broth was discovered in the victim's lungs, his head must have been placed into the bowl after he was killed. and that's when the silver broth must have been spilled onto the character cards. In other words, the victim could not have lined the cards up as he was drowning.
I see. So it was done after he was already dead. Why would the culprit do such a thing?
I'm afraid I don't know yet. Huh. You boast of psychological expertise, yet you cannot determine such a simple motive. My sides are liable to split at the absurdity. What? And I suppose you know why? Of course. Desecrating the body in that manner indicates a strong sense of enmity on the part of the perpetrator.
Yes, that does make sense. Certainly paints a clear picture of the culprit's intense feelings toward the victim.
Feelings of resentment over the theft of the saber sharp steed, no doubt. Just great. Now the judge has an even more unfavorable impression of Bucky.
Silence.
Must you come undone at every juncture? If the culprit had enough time to set up Master Toneido's body, do you think they would have honestly failed to notice the dying message?
Good point. The cards were right in front of his body, after all. Rationally speaking, there's no way the culprit could have missed that, huh?
Objection.
Oh, but was he accused rational at the time, given the way he stormed out of that room?
Silence.
Never mind that. I have something more important to ask Uendo.
Me?
You saw the character cards firsthand, did you not? Would you care to tell us about them in a bit more detail? Those tiny crime scene photos show us precious little of what I wish to know.
Well, those cards are from Shisho's special Sober Scenes of Tokyo Past set. Each card is related in some way to Soba.
Spare me the history lesson. Just tell me how the cards looked at the scene and no more.
Well, there was Soba broth spilled over them.
That's not much help, I'm afraid. Roscoe, do you have a photo that shows the cards more clearly?
I do. Please accept this meager offering, Your Honor.
Oh my, what delightful looking cards.
Wavy Hound Equipment. Traditional, nostalgic, ouch, 4.
Well. Tearing Prosecutor Sadmonk's conclusive evidence apart should be a breeze with this.
Huh?
Don't tell me you haven't noticed.
Don't be silly. Of course I have. Not notice anything. But I can't exactly say that now, can I?
Miss Cykes, do you see a problem with the prosecution's claim about these cards?
Well, go on then.
Alright. It's do or die. All we have to do is study the picture and... These cards... These cards were rearranged.
But how can you tell?
Please take a good look at these cards, Your Honor. The answer is right in front of us.
Where exactly should we be looking, Miss Cykes?
Please focus your attention on the sober broth stains on these cards. The outline of these stains don't match up with the largest stain on the table.
Oh, would you look at that? You're absolutely right. And?
Please recall that the sober broth was spilled and got on the cards after the murder, when the victim's face was placed in the bowl.
Yes, go on.
By the stains we can see that the culprit deliberately rearranged the cards after that. In other words, this message was altered in order to pin the crime on my client.
What? Then if we put the cards back in their original positions...
we can restore the evidence and see who the cards were really pointing toward.
That's true.
Then what are we waiting for? Let's do this. All I have to do is rearrange the cards so that the stains match up. Let's see, where was this W card originally? Perfect. Okay, the H card is next. Let's see, where was this H card originally? Yeah, that looks about right. Yes, now the E card. Let's see, where was this E card originally? A perfect match. Next up is the T card. Let's see, where was this T card originally? Great, that fits right in there. Now the N card. Let's see, where was this N card originally? There, that looks good. Now O. Let's see, where was this O card originally? Nice, almost done now. The last card is 4. Let's see, where was this card originally?
Take that!
Owen 4th. So the message wet number 4 was originally supposed to say Owen 4th. And this original message is our clue to the identity of the true culprit. What? That indignant look on Prosecutor's side monk's face is positively priceless. This is absurd. So it was originally Owen 4th?
Was it wet number 4? Maybe Laura is smaller than we thought. Order in the court. Well, I never would have imagined that there was more to these cards than meets the eye.
Who the hell is Owen 4th?
So, now that that's settled, what does this Owen 4th mean?
Wait, am I? Who else do you suppose is to provide an explanation? Of course it's you. But I haven't thought that far yet. Change the cards around all you'd like. But if you cannot explain what the message means, then it is as worthless as you are, defense. No! And so, the spring chick that fancies itself a graceful swan is brought back down to earth. I have to do something, but what? Still your thoughts for a second. There's a perfectly good witness to question over there. Oh, right. That's a good idea. Come on, Athena. Get a hold of yourself. Uendo, does the phrase Owen 4th mean anything to you?
No. There's no one named Owen in the Toneido family, or our circle of friends.
Go ahead, ask anybody you'd like. You can't be serious. Having rummaged through your empty mind, I see you have, as expected, turned up nothing.
Silence.
I'm afraid I have no idea who the devil this Owen 4th is either. But the fact remains that the cards were rearranged to pin the blame on Mr. Whet. That in itself proves that the defendant isn't the real culprit.
Prosecutor Buckwheat is right. Besides, the important question here is not who does the message point to, but rather, who rearranged the cards?
Why didn't you point that out earlier if you already knew?
Sorry. In any case, there were 2 opportunities for someone to rearrange the cards. The first was when Mr. Whet entered the dressing room, and the second was when Uendo discovered the body. Are you accusing me of rearranging the cards? Huh.
Me, who came to testify out of the goodness of my heart. Well, you didn't exactly come running out screaming straight away, did you? Even a mere 2 to 3 minutes is more than enough time to get up to some devilry. So what exactly were you doing in there, Uendo? Put down the tea and spit out your answer.
Mr. Prosecutor, what's a guy supposed to do at a time like this? Silence is more precious than diamonds, witness. Therefore, you need only stay silent. The defense is devious. They are waiting for you to make a slip of the tongue. Oh, I see. So that's what they're after, is it? In that case, Your Honor, I've decided not to say another word. Very good. After all, your right to remain silent is protected by law. Prosecutor Blackwell, any other brilliant ideas you'd like to share?
Did you hear that, Cykes owner? A rakugo artist who's afraid to speak. Who has ever heard of such a thing?
Are you trying to taunt him into talking? Such a petty trick would never work.
That's right. I'm not going to fall for it. I'm only asking to hear your story. Besides, is it not your job to tell your tales if there's an audience to listen? Even so, I have the right to refuse to answer. The more you keep quiet, the more we want you to talk. That's simply human nature. Isn't that right, people of the gallery? Even with this wonderful audience in front of you, you still refuse to talk? If so, then perhaps you chose the wrong line of work, my friend. Are you saying I should quit? Because I'm not afraid to speak my mind, I'll have you know.
Oh no, never mind what I just said. It is scary to talk. It's absolutely terrifying.
But no, as a rakugo artist I must talk. If I don't, how can I ever show my face on stage again? Your Honor, I'm ready to testify.
He did it. He managed to convince Uendo with his power of suggestion technique.
Bully for you, Uendo. That's as a real rakugo artist should be.
Alright, if the witness wishes to testify, then by all means, please do. To be turned by such an obvious ploy, what a man of weak spirit!
After my performance, I went to visit Shisho.
I called to him from outside the room, but he didn't reply. When I entered the dressing room, I saw Shisho slumped over the table, motionless.
From what I can tell, there do not appear to be any inconsistencies in the testimony.
Of course there aren't any, because I'm not trying to hide anything. Prosecutor side mine is right. I don't see anything inconsistent either, but I did pick up on some faint discord in Uendo's heart.
Huh. Ponder all you would like, defense, but it is pointless. Your Honor, I believe there is no need for further deliberation.
I disagree, Your Honor. I detected discord in the voice of the witness's heart. That's a clear indication that Uendo is facing some sort of inner turmoil.
Are you saying what I think you're saying, Miss Cykes?
Yes, Your Honor. The defense would like to conduct a quick therapy session on this witness.
Uendo, there's no need for you to submit to this so-called therapy.
It's fine by me. I have nothing to hide. Bring it on.
Impetuous fool!
Oh. Unable to save. Oh, shit. That's not good.
Impetuous fool! Why will he not listen to the guidance of this humble servant of the Holy Mother? If the witness wishes to proceed, I see no problem, prosecutor.
In one ear, not the other. It seems this performer has no need for your so-called guidance, Prosecutor Sad Monk.
Just know this, Uendo. Your folly will surely earn you divine retribution.
Thanks, Simon. I'm going to make the most of this opportunity you created for me.
Just keep your wits about you.
I will. Alright, hold on. I'm going to take a break and, hold on. Damn, okay. Looks like I ran out of space. I don't even have 5 megabytes to spare. That can't be good. Alright. I'm gonna take a break and then I'm gonna sort out my storage problems and then I will be right back. Alright, sorry about that. I got the old cleanup going in the background. And I managed to delete some stuff here and there. I've got I'm supposed to have 117 gig capacity on my C drive. And yet somehow it keeps reaching maximum somehow. just from temporary files and save files and, you know, data and trivial things like that. I don't know how it keeps getting topped up like that. Anyways, let's see now. Can we save? Okay, there we go. Should be good to go. Uendo, could you please tell us again about what happened in the dressing room? After my performance, I went to visit Shisho. I called to him from outside the room. But he didn't reply. When I entered the dressing room, I saw Shisho slumped over the table, motionless. Uendo, something here doesn't match. Much. Ah, I see. Much, as in manage to assert a thoughtful, calculated hypothesis. In other words, you are the something here that didn't match, correct? It appears you have met your match. No worries. That was just one match. There's still the rest of the game to go. The fuck? Why was he happy that he didn't reply? Y'all losing me. Y'all losing me here. Outside the room, he didn't reply. And to the dressing room, I saw Shisho slumped over the table, motionless. I guess... Why would you immediately assume that he was dead? Right? There's a match. Okay. Maybe it's the fact... Maybe it isn't the fact that they were sad, it's the fact that he wasn't surprised. There we go. Uendo, I'm noticing something strange with these emotions. Something stranger with cheesy toast skin, you say? No, something strange with these emotions. How could you have heard something stranger with cheesy toe skin? I don't know. Maybe it's me who's got some cheese in my ears. Do you will the floor to open up and swallow his cushions out of shame for that bad joke? So, the point I'm trying to make is that I noticed something unexpected in your emotions. Now stop hiding and come out where we can see you.
Better, please bring the windows of your replacement cushions.
So, what was this unexpected thing you noticed? Oh, come on, it's on a set a few cushions, not a few dozen.
Now that you all had a good laugh, please continue, Miss Cykes.
Who's laughing? Focus, Athena. Don't let yourself get rattled. When you entered the room and saw your master slumped motionless over the table, you weren't the least bit shocked, Uendo. Don't you think that's a little odd? Is it so? A lack of surprise means you are prepared for what you saw. And I think I know why. The reason Uendo wasn't shaken when he saw his master's dead body is because... Uendo, I think maybe the reason you weren't shaken was because you already knew you would find your master dead. What? What kind of a thing is that to say? You've got it all wrong. Oh, right, I just remembered something. I thought Shisho was sleeping when I first saw him. Teehee. You thought he was sleeping. It sounds plausible, but... What made you think he was asleep? Well, he had his head and arms up on the table, as if he were taking a nap. Oh, and one other thing. There was that note, too. A note? What note? Ah, you must be talking about this. It appears to have been written by the victim. Allow me to read it. Resting, do not disturb. Yes, that's the note I saw. After reading that, who wouldn't think Shisho was napping?
That is a pretty reasonable assumption.
You've got to be kidding me. Huh.
That's right. I saw this note, so that's why I thought Shisho was asleep.
I want to change my testimony to include that statement. Alright, I'll run an update. After my performance, I went to visit Shisho. I called to him from outside the room, but he didn't reply. When I opened the door, I thought he was sleeping. But something seemed off, so I rushed over to him. I was shocked to find him dead. I couldn't believe my eyes. Uendo, I noticed something funny in your emotions again. Funny, you say? I guess an entertainer of my caliber can make people laugh even with my emotions. I didn't mean that kind of funny. Quite the opposite, actually. When you entered the dressing room, I see that you suddenly felt anger. What I want to know is, what made you feel angry all of a sudden? What? Let's see. Oh yeah! Now I remember. As I was going in, I whacked my little piggy on something. I was annoyed at my own clumsiness. Hee. Wait, you mean you stubbed your pinky toe? Just a little bump on my little piggy. No big deal. It's embarrassing, really. Sounds more like he's hiding something. I'd better dig a bit deeper. No need to be embarrassed, Uendo, but I'm afraid it's something we do need to look into. I don't really see anything you could have stubbed your toe on in the area around the dressing room door in this picture, but maybe there was something there at the time. Uendo, what exactly did you stub your toe on?
What an irrelevant question. You dishonor the soul of the victim with these unnecessary delays.
You teller, really? Who doesn't stub their toe every once in a while? You really gotta fuss over every small detail like this?
Well, the thing is... even the most subtle of fluctuations in a person's psyche can clue us into the truth. That's why it's important to get to the bottom of this question. Plus, if I back down now, who knows what new insults Simon will hurl my way? Is there really no trace left of what Uendo stubbed his toe on by the door? What in the world might have been there then, but is not there now?
Take that!
Uendo, did you stub your toe on the table?
Wait a minute. Well, it does appear that something hit the table and moved it. Uendo said he stubbed his toe as he was entering the dressing room.
Yeah, and that table looks pretty far from the door. Could what bumped into the table also be a clue as to what Uendo stubbed his toe on?
Careless answers will only hurt us here, so think carefully before you speak again.
Right. Is there really no trace left of what Uendo stubbed his toe on by the door? What in the world might have been there then, but it is not there now? This big trail here? Something that's close to the door.
Take that!
Please take a good look at this photo of the crime scene. Do you see it? This long track that goes from the door all the way across the room.
I just mentioned it. I do see traces of something getting dragged.
And the drag mark ends there, at the TV. This implies that the TV was originally by the door. I'm convinced that this TV is the object that is the object the witness stubbed his toe on. Well, Uendo, how about it?
Yeah, you're right. It was the TV.
Yeah, the noise level dropped again. Yeah, I stuffed my pink guitar on the TV. What of it? Why is this so important to you? So the noise went down, but it hasn't completely disappeared yet. Which means he's still hiding something. Okay, then let's try this tactic instead. Uendo, why was the TV moved there? Shisho must have moved it so he could watch my routine. But what a place to put it. Right in the middle of the doorway like that. I didn't want to bump into it again, so I put it back where it belonged. Performance on stage can be viewed in the dressing room using that TV. That's right! It's a closed-circuit monitor that shows the stage. Shows the stage, eh? I see. Now what? I can't find anything else out of the place. I still haven't gotten the noise level down to 0 yet. Simon, I'm still getting noise here, but I don't see anything else fishy.
This is precisely why amateurs are such a bother. Sorry. I'm in no mood to play nursemaid here, but if that's what it takes to save the server shop... Hoy, Uendo! Here's a curiosity for you. This table Master Toneido is slumped over. It looks like it was moved. Did you happen to bump into it while you were moving the TV back?
Oh my! Yeah, you're right. The TV hit the table and Shisho's body moved with a jolt. That's when I first realized that Shisho was dead. Oh, but how scared I was.
I see. Thank you. We're finally getting a more precise picture of how the body was discovered. But I'd wager you need to put the spurs through Uendo just a trifle longer.
Right. I can't keep asking Simon to bail me out like this. It's time for me to regain my footing and really stand on my own. Uendo, what you said just now about discovering your master's death, could you please describe all of that again for the court in detail?
All right.
But before you do, let me just plug in the latest information. After my performance, I went to visit Shisho. I called to him from outside the room, but he didn't reply. When I opened the door, I thought he was sleeping. I tried to enter the dressing room, but stubbed my toe on the TV. When I put the TV back in its normal spot, I realized that Shisho was dead. Seeing him slumped over that cluttered table, sniff, oh, Shisho. Something hinders research. Much. Ah, I see. Much as in managed to assert a thoughtful, calculated hypothesis. In other words, you are the something here that didn't match, correct?
It appears you've met your match.
No worries, that was just one match. There's still the rest of the game to go. What? Okay. You're gonna have to explain this one to me. That's odd. After the initial shock of finding the victim dead, you reacted with surprise again. What was it that surprised you, Uendo, besides your master's death? What do you mean? What's more, you were even more surprised the second time than the first. What could have surprised you more than finding your late master?
Search me, you little... Your little thinking must have made a mistake.
Silence.
The girl is as sharp as a trout, to be sure. But her ability to hear people's emotions is absolute. Now, get to remembering, Uendo. What was it that surprised you?
That was a compliment, right? Well, What? No, we pushed him too hard, and now he's mentally all over the place. His emotions are completely out of control.
Out of control? Care to explain how that's relevant?
You know how normally I listen for the hidden emotions in a witness's voice, right? From there, I look for inconsistency between their testimony and those emotions. But sometimes a person's feelings can run too high, making it hard to get proper readings.
So that's how your Matrix program works. Fascinating.
Ordinarily, it's just one emotion that runs out of control. But it seems there's nothing ordinary about this time. After my performance, I went to visit Shisho. I called to him from outside the room. He didn't reply. When I opened the door, I saw he was sleeping. I tried to enter the dressing room, but stubbed my toe on the TV. When I put the TV back in its normal spot, I realized that Shisho was dead. Seeing him stopped over that cluttered table, sniff. Oh, Shisho.
I knew it. Huh, what's got your knickers all in a bunch now?
Uendo has multiple emotions running out of control at the same time. I have never seen anything like this. Ever!
So, how does one bring a situation like this back under control?
I'll have to find the root cause of this tangled mess before I can treat him. If I can identify what is causing this emotional rampage, then I can probe to dive in further. I'll need to point to what I think is the root cause and hit probe again. Through this process, I can identify exactly what's causing Uendo so much distress.
That will help bring his emotions back under control. In that case, let's get started, shall we?
Alright, I can't guarantee success, but it's definitely worth a shot. Time to look for the root cause of Uendo's rampaging emotions. Called to him from outside the room, but he didn't reply. When I opened the door, I saw he was sleeping. I tried to enter the dressing room, but stubbed my toe on the TV. When I put the TV back in its normal place, I realized that Shisho was dead. Seeing him stopped over that cluttered table, sniff. Oh, Shisho. I get it now. The cards were the root of it all. Don't try to deny it. You can't hide your feelings from me. The dying message that was left at the scene of the crime is what was causing your distress. And if the dying message was the cause of all those feelings, then that means that the phrase Owen forth must mean something to you. There, noise level 0, finally. The dying message consists of 2 words, Owen and forth, but neither of these 2 words have anything to do with this witness. This topic warrants no further argument. Sure, there may not seem to be any direct connection between Uendo and the message. For now, but why don't you wait and decide what's necessary after you hear my theory?
Huh, I trust you've hit upon something, Athena.
Yep, my theory is right. We can finally solve the case of Uendo and the mysterious Owen forth.
Well, go on then.
I can already tell this promises to be interesting. Now, please share your theory with the court, Miss Cykes.
There was something puzzling to me about Uendo's out-of-control emotions just now. Namely, that there were 3 distinct reactions present. I had never seen that before, and I wondered how it could be possible.
Is there a conclusion to this meandering musings of yours?
Hold your horses, I'm getting there. So, could a person flip between 3 distinct emotions of such intensity like a switch? In the end, I concluded that it just wasn't possible.
So, that's it, is it? A bit unconventional, but I'll grant that it's possible within the realm of psychology.
Within the realm of psychology? I'm afraid I'll have to explain it for the old man up here on the bench.
Your Honor, my theory is that Uendo with so many distinct personas, it's clear to me that Uendo has dissociative identity disorder.
What does that even mean?
Your Honor, the defense would treat this trial as a child's jest. Multiple personality disorder. A preposterous proposition indeed. Would you not agree with this?
How did she know? How did she figure it out? Can't believe it. I did it! I did it, Simon! I've read papers on it before, but to think I'd see a case of it for myself. Blimey. Rakugo aren't just telling stories as different characters, but as different personalities. Hey, you, Liger! You got a problem with us, huh?
No, no problem at all.
This is all very hard to believe. But now that we've established that the witness has multiple personalities, could each of them please introduce themselves to this court?
Uendo Toneido. I'm a rakugo storyteller, as you know.
Hello, everybody! Patches, the friendly jester here. Kisagawa, courtesan.
And is that all of you?
Yes, that's all of us.
So there are 3 personalities in total. Uendo, Patches, and Kisagawa, eh?
Well, Simon, what do you think now? Not your one lucky duck. Just be glad they were dense enough to help you out.
Alright, can we just straight up say I did great for a change? You appear to be quite proud of your self-defense, but all you have done is infringe upon the privacy of the witness. I couldn't disagree more, prosecutor. Now that we know there are 3 personalities, a new way for us to interpret the meaning of a certain piece of evidence has arisen. A new interpretation.
Oh, now I'm very curious. What is this piece of evidence you're talking about, Miss Cykes?
Okay, hold on, I'll be back. Alright, I think I have an idea on where this is going, but I'll have to wait before I can say more. Knowing what we know about Uendo and his personalities, this now makes perfect sense. Owen 4th. Owen is the 4th personality. There is a 4th personality. Alright. That's gotta be it. Owen 4th.
Take that!
A card to cards?
That's right, Your Honor. Recall the original dying message left at the scene. We didn't have a clue as to what Owen 4th could have possibly meant. But now, with this new information about Uendo and his personalities, isn't it possible that Owen 4th actually means a secret 4th personality of Uendo's, a personality named Owen?
What? Okay.
Uendo must have kept his dissociative identity disorder from us because he didn't want us to be associated in any way with that dying message.
No, that's not why. We kept our disorder a secret for a different reason altogether. We've been taking advantage of our affliction to act out various rakugo characters. If one of us got out, well, our reputation as a rakugo artist would be tarnished, as would the Toneido name.
That's why we kept it a secret from everyone except members of the Toneido school. But really, there is no first personality. It's just the 3 of us in here.
A plausible enough sounding story. But it doesn't prove you didn't rearrange the cards, does it?
But... I would concede that it is highly likely the witness rearranged the cards. Is Prosecutor Sasmati actually agreeing with us? However, is it not also possible that the accused killed Master Toneido? And then left that message in order to frame the witness? And upon noticing the cause when he found the victim's body, Uendo rearranged them.
Silence.
A fantastic tale, but a tale nonetheless. No one outside the Toneido school knew about Uendo's multiple personalities. Uendo just finished saying so himself.
Ah, that is true. That is a true but ultimately meaningless point. Uendo was only in the dressing room for 2 to 3 minutes. That's far too little time to commit murder, would you say?
Objection!
Then who's to say he couldn't have done it before his discovery?
Ah, that spring chick memory of yours. Have you already forgotten Prosecutor Blackwell's testimony?
Simon's testimony?
Oh!
Geiru escorted me to the dressing room, but we heard the sound of rakugo being performed from within. Thinking the master was rehearsing, we decided to wait in the hall until he was done.
That's right. Until just a few moments before Uendo entered the dressing room, Taifu Toneido was confirmed to still be alive.
No!
Not only that, but Uendo was on stage until just before he discovered the body. A bulletproof alibi that I have already confirmed with several audience members.
Oh, no!
I also heard that his rakugo performance that day was a steaming pile of... Well, you get the picture.
Yeah, I'm afraid so. It really stunk up the stage, I did. And yet, I have a perfect alibi.
Indeed. Why not land the coup de grace on the defense by describing your alibi, witness?
Okie dokie, Smokey.
God.
Help me. I was on stage until just moments before I went into the dressing room. The entire audience was my witness. But my performance was a huge bust. Not a single soul laughed. I'll never be able to live down how terribly I bombed during that very important show.
Uendo was on stage before he found the body, so he could not have committed this crime. It is time to let it all go, defense, and move on.
Nigger! Well, get this, prosecutor's hat, Marty. The right anything agency never gives up. We fight to the bitter end.
Allow me to say this once more. Let it go and move on.
And allow me to say it once more. I'm never giving up.
Let it go and
never!
This is pointless. You should have taken advantage of this opportunity while you could, you foolish child. Your worthless convictions only serve to prolong the accused's suffering. If words will not sway you, then perhaps pain will.
Oh no! Anything but this! What's the big idea, Prosecutor Side Marty?
That was but a small dose of punishment for your misguided convictions. Are you not a bit more inclined to give up, as instructed?
As if.
In that case, you must require another dose.
Not bloody likely. I don't give two flips about your beliefs. But if Cykes were to submit to you here, I won't be able to get to eat good sober anymore. That's right. For Mr. Wet's future and Prosecutor Blackwell's stomach, I will never give up.
You will rue those words, defense. Of that, I can assure you.
I was on stage until just moments before I went into the dressing room.
Hold it!
How can we be sure it was you who was on that stage? Are you asking whether it could have been some imposter? I guess so. Unlike a big arena, our rakugo theater is a cozy little place. It would be hard to fool an audience in such an intimate setting, don't you think?
Yeah, I guess you're right. Good. I'm glad we could clear that up, because I guess you could say...
The entire audience was my witness.
Hold it!
Was there anything special about the stage or your performance that you can tell me? For example, were the lights dimmer than usual? Were there any problems or accidents?
Not a thing. Everything was the same as always. Mr. Prosecutor, you questioned the audience, didn't you?
Yes, of course. Apparently, nothing seemed amiss to them except, well, one small thing. One small thing? Oh, it's so embarrassing. I tried my best. Really, I did. But my performance was a huge bust. Not a single soul laughed.
Hold it!
Do you have an idea what went wrong?
I'm not sure if it was my performance or if it was just that particular audience. Maybe it was the story I picked. But every entertainer knows that this kind of thing happens from time to time.
I guess that makes sense. Still, I wonder how he could have flopped at his own commemorative show. Maybe I should dig into things a bit more. What's the story? Could you tell me which rakugo story you performed? I could, but I'm not sure if it would mean anything to the uninitiated. Well, even if I might not get it, can't you at least try me? Alright, if you insist. The story I performed is called Tokisoba, otherwise known as Time Soba. Time Soba, eh? Maybe Uendo's right. He's only said the name of the routine and I'm already lost.
Ah, so you performed Time Soba, did you?
What? You know it, Prosecutor Sadmati?
In the course of my studies last night, I became familiar with a number of stories. I must say, Defense, you would do well to prepare better for your next trial.
Simon, what's Time Soba about?
Look it up yourself. Allow me to give an overview. The story takes place on a winter's night. A man orders a bowl of soba at a street stall. How you doing, sir? What can I get for you? I see you've got seaweed-topped hamamaki soba and mixed toppings. I'll have a bowl of shibuko, my good man. It sure is cold tonight, isn't it? But there's nothing like a hot bowl of noodles and soup to warm the soul. You know it, sir. One shibuko coming right up. So, how is business? Not so great, sir. Is that so? Well, that's great, because things can only get better from here, right? What, Prosecutor? A customer talks on and on like this. Finally, when he's done eating, he goes to pay for his soba. So how much do I owe you? That'll be 16 mun, sir. I see. Sorry, but I only have small change on me. I'll count the coins into your palm so you can hold out your hand for me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hey, what time is it? It's 9, sir. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Thanks, and bye. Very well done, Prosecutor Sadmati. That was excellent.
I don't get it. What was so funny about that?
Tusk, don't you see? The customer paid with coins, counting them out one by one. Then, just after counting 8, he asked about the time, and the soba vendor answered with 9.
Oh, now I get it. He made the vendor say 9, and then he continued counting from 10.
Exactly. He cheated the soba vendor out of 1 mon with his smooth talking. The story continues with another man who saw the whole thing and tries to do the same, but he bungles the trick and ends up paying more than 16 mon for his soba. The story ends on that as the punchline. You can look up the rest of the details yourself. Or I'm sure Prosecutor Sad Monk over there would love to perform it for you after court.
So, basically it's a story about a man cheating on his soba bill. That's kind of petty, isn't it?
Huh. Is that really all we have to say about this classic story? Time soba is such a well-known staple of rakugo that the skill of the art...
Fine, so you studied a lot, but we haven't the time for a lecture detour right now, Prosecutor Sad Monk.
Oh, I wanted to hear a little more, but I suppose it is off topic. Getting back to the matter at hand, Miss Cykes, what do you say to that? The story I performed is called Tokisoba, otherwise known as Time Soba. Would you like to add this statement to his testimony?
Should I have that statement added to the testimony? Yes, Your Honor. I'd like to have it added.
Very well.
The story I performed is called Tokisoba, otherwise known as Time Soba. The story where a man cheats on a silver bill, right? Why do you think it didn't go over so well?
Well, I suppose I was a little nervous. It's a lot of pressure when you're the star of such an important show, you know.
You? Nervous? I thought you'd be all calm and collected, but I guess even you can get stage fright, eh? I wanted so badly to live up to the great name of Uendo that I inherited, that I guess I overperformed a little this time. Wait, Uendo was the stage name of the former member of the Toneido school, right? That's right. The name belonged to one of Shisho's former disciples who died of illness at a young age. With the weight of a new name like that to carry on your shoulders, I can see why you were feeling the heat, just like me. I'm carrying the weight of my entire agency on my shoulders right now. In that case, can I count on your sympathy and have you go a little easier on me? With the audience as his witness, Uendo has a pretty unshakable alibi, doesn't he? You're not giving up, are you? Where's that never-say-die spirit you displayed earlier? Of course I'm not giving up, Simon. I just know Uendo has something to do with this case. But how will you connect him to the crime when he has an alibi as strong as that? I don't know just yet. But I'm going to press his testimony and keep an eye out for contradictions. I'll never be able to live down how terribly I bombed during that very important show. Excuse me for asking, but do you bomb like that on a regular basis?
Well, aren't you a regular rude daisy? Do you really think a rakugo artist who regularly bombs would get promoted? In fact, I'm known as the Toneido School's whirlwind of laughter, I'll have you know.
Is that really true, Simon?
That nickname is a bit of a travesty if you ask me, but his rakugo is older than one received, yes.
I see. But yeah, whirlwind of laughter is a big old stink bob of a name, isn't it? Phew, what a relief. I thought it was just me. Whirlwind of laughter is great. Funny stuff. Hee hee, glad you like it. The story I performed is called Toki Soba, otherwise known as Time Soba. There we go. That's an easy one. Uendo, isn't there something odd about the routine you performed? Oh, no, I don't think there's anything odd about it. But that's exactly what I find odd. The fact that you don't think it's odd. Objection. We are discussing the witness's alibi at the moment, defense. The show's program is completely irrelevant. Objection. That's where you're wrong, Prosecutor Sadmati. The reason being, it contradicts the statement the witness just made. Uendo, do you know what this is? No? What is it? This is an invitation to the show, sent from Master Toneido to Prosecutor Blackwell. Included in the invitation is a rundown of the show's program, which clearly states that Time Server was to be performed by Master Toneido himself. No! Uendo, why did you perform the routine your master was scheduled to do?
Well, you see, the reason for that is...
how do I say this? You see, let's say it was a prank. That's right. It was just a little joke, you see. I was trying to surprise Shisho by performing his routine before he did. I don't know if I buy that. Was doing the victim's routine really just for laughs, or... Hey, didn't Simon happen to hear Time Server coming from the dressing room during Uendo's performance on stage? Seems like too much of a coincidence. Wait, can it be? What's the matter? You look like a hen with a dozen eggs to lay. Stop comparing me to birds. Then seize his bird-brain timidity. If something has occurred to you, then lay it out for us already. Don't breed resentment in those watching your performance. Okay. I don't have a ton of confidence in this theory, but here it goes. It looks like Uendo's alibi checks out, Your Honor, but even though he was on stage at the time, he may have been trying to obfuscate a crucial detail about this case.
Are you referring to The sober bill the man tried to skimp on in the witness's story?
I'm not talking about the rakugo story, Your Honor.
Oh, I'm sorry, but then what are you talking about, Miss Sykes?
What Uendo may have been trying to deceive us about was... Uendo tried to deceive us about the time of the victim's death.
What? What gibberish. Prosecutor Black will even testify to the time of the victim's death.
I know, but he only testified that way because he and Geiru had been completely taken in.
You mean, by the sober bill thing?
Would you please forget about the story for a second, Your Honor? I was deceived.
Pray tell, how did Uendo manage to deceive two people while he was performing on stage?
That's easy. All he had to do was use a certain prop in the dressing room.
Oh, what might that be?
The prop Uendo used was...
Take that!
This TV was used to view what was happening on the stage. Prosecutor Blackwell, when you came to the dressing room, what was Uendo doing?
He was performing time sober. Blast! Could it be?
Yes, it could, and it was. What you and Geiru had heard was not Master Toneido practicing his routine. It was Uendo's performance as heard through this TV monitor speakers.
What?
With the TV just inside the inner door of the dressing room, it could easily be heard from the hallway outside.
Because we knew that Master Toneido was scheduled to perform time sober, we were easily manipulated into thinking he was still alive at the time, rehearsing.
Yes, your knowledge of the day's program is why the two of you could be fooled this way. Simon, did the voice you hear belong to Master Toneido?
With the doors in the way, I couldn't tell exactly who the voice belonged to. But because I heard time sober, I just assumed it was Master Toneido. I can't believe I was taken in by such a simple mind game.
All of that is mere conjecture. Where is your proof, defense?
Uendo moved the TV back when he discovered the body. After all, he couldn't very well leave it by the door, because then someone might figure out the trick he'd been playing. And there's one more thing about Uendo's actions that's suspicious.
And that is?
The fact that he flopped so badly on such an important occasion.
What's so suspicious about that? Even pros slip up once in a while, you know.
But I believe that this time it was intentional. Because Uendo knew it'd be strange to hear laughter coming from the dressing room.
Oh my!
Yipes! It's all just a bit too perfect to be sheer coincidence. Plus, if the voice Prosecutor Blackwell and Geiru heard was due to Uendo's scheming, then the victim's time of death could have been earlier than 4 p.m. In other words, Uendo could have killed Master Toneido himself.
We've got you by the stones now, Uendo, so we better confess everything.
Well, witness, what do you have to say for yourself?
We demand an explanation. Uendo! I confess. I tampered with the crime scene.
Is it the defense's claim that Uendo Toneido is the true murderer in this case?
If he tampered with the crime scene, then we have to at least consider him a suspect.
Now wait just 1 minute. Yes, I admit to messing with the dressing room, but I didn't kill Shisho.
Then why did you tamper with the crime scene?
I refuse to answer that question.
What?
If you suspect this witness, then I have a question for you.
What could it be this time?
Uendo had absolutely no reason to murder Taifu Toneido. After all, why would Uendo kill the man who recognized his skills and promoted him?
Oh! Well, his motive was, I can't think of a single thing.
It appears you are also not aware of one other fact.
And that is?
That the accused visited the dressing room before 4 p.m. as well. Is it not natural, then,
to suppose that the accused killed the victim at that time. What? Nobody told me Mr. Whet had also gone there before 4 p.m. We were only discussing the time frame after 4 p.m., so I didn't think to mention it. But now that you have made the time period before 4 p.m. relevant, well, I don't like where this is going. So, you really do not know what your client was doing during that time frame, do you? Well, it was all very sudden, and, why did you wait until the very last second to contact me, Simon?
Don't you give me that look. Just so you know, Bucky never told me he had visited the master before 4 p.m. either.
Sort of thing is exactly why that prosecutor keeps calling us unprepared.
But if us will stop squabbling this instant.
Sorry, Your Honor.
Vasquez's body, please continue.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Defense, you know of the soba-making implements in the dressing room, correct?
Is he talking about the equipment for making soba noodles?
You speak of the large bowl that is used to mix buckwheat flour and water, long rolling pin, and the special knife that is used to cut the dough into noodles.
Precisely. These tools all came from the accused soba shop.
You mean they didn't belong to Master Toneido?
Mr. Whet has visited the dressing room to give the victim a soba-making lesson. And that visit was before 4 p.m. I'm afraid that after the accused kneaded the dough and made those noodles, he committed the act of murder.
But wait, that doesn't add up. If Mr. Whet killed the victim before 4 p.m., why would he return to that room at a later time? Oh. I knew it.
What so, but you're getting caboodle when it comes to noodles.
Alright, hold on. I'll be back. Alright. Looks like we'll be hearing from the accused after all. For all the good it'll do. Let's see how this turns out.
Oh my! Hiya, Miss Chickadee. Hiya, Simon. The reason I went back is because Master Toneido ordered uncooked noodles.
Mr. Whet?
Yesterday I brought noodle making tools to the dressing room at around 2 p.m. That's when Mr. Toneido ordered uncooked soba noodles to stock up on.
Uncooked noodles to stock up on?
Yes, ma'am. Master Toneido kept a supply of soba noodles from my shop in his fridge. He only had one serving left, so I went back to my shop to get some more.
One serving of noodles in the fridge, but I thought the fridge was practically empty. Anyway, the whereabouts of the missing noodles isn't all that important now.
You ran into me and Geiru when you came back to deliver the uncooked soba, correct?
That's right, Shimey. That's right, Shimey. I made time out of my busy day to deliver him the noodles.
I don't know. Let me go back to... Okay.
That's right, Sammy. I made time out of my busy day to deliver him the noodles. And you know what? He ignored me when I called to him from the inner doorway. He just kept mumbling rakugo on for ages. So I got mad and went back to my soba shop.
Ah, so that's why he got mad. If what he's saying is true, then there's no way he could be a murderer.
I swear I'm telling the truth, Miss Chicken. Bailiff, quick! Get this man to the infirmary! Well, I dare say he's quite the handful.
Your Honor, please accept the statements Mr. Whet just made into evidence.
Objection.
I believe the accused's statement about going to the room at around 2 p.m. is true, for it falls within the victim's estimated time of death. That opens up the possibility that the crime was committed between 2 and 4 p.m. That's some critical information.
Yes, Your Honor.
But other than that one point, Mr. Whet's statements are dubious and without proof.
Objection!
But they are the words of the defendant himself. Simon, back me up here.
He has a point. If I were the prosecutor, I wouldn't accept them either.
Well, I understand the defense's feelings on the matter. This court is unable to accept anything other than the time the defendant made his visit.
Now what do I do?
I trust you have no further objections, defense? At last, the time has come to send the soul of the victim onward to the Twilight Realm.
Silence.
What are you yammering on about, prosecutor sad monk? We still have something we need to question Uendo about.
We do? Like what?
Well, don't just stand there.
We don't have any evidence left to present.
Have you forgotten already? Isn't there still a hidden witness you have yet to question?
A hidden witness? Oh, that's right. Your Honor, there's still one more issue we haven't finished discussing yet.
Oh? And what is this bit of unfinished business?
We haven't finished discussing this issue related to Uendo. We still have to discuss the possibility of a fourth personality, the one named Owen.
Are you suggesting that this fourth personality of Wendo's might be the true culprit?
Jeez, not that again. I told you we don't know anything about this Owen. Look, Uendo, I know you don't have any motive to kill your master, but this Owen may have one for all we know.
Come clean now, Uendo. You've got another personality stashed away, haven't you?
Please tell us everything you know about Owen.
That's enough. The witness has already stated that he knows not of any Owen character.
Bravo! You tell him, Mr. Prosecutor.
Hey, Patches. You claim you don't know Owen when you really do. That's tantamount to perjury. If you want to exercise your right to remain silent, however, well, that's a different story.
Do not listen to the depraved prosecutor, witness. You will be tainted with his evil.
Do you have an idea how dark and cold the prison cell is?
I exercise my right to remain silent.
What's this now? Changing horses in midstream, are you?
Shut up. I will remain silent and that's it.
Patches, you fool. You stay out of this. Patches is not the brightest bulb in that box you call a noggin, is he? The fact that he switched from I don't know any Owen to I will remain silent is proof that he does know about Owen.
There it is again. Simon's formidable psychological manipulation tactic. I'm sure glad he's on my side today.
You dirty, despicable, depraved prosecutor! You were leading the witness! Witness, there is no need for you to submit yourself to the defense's questioning.
Objection!
Your Honor, Uendo is definitely hiding something. Please allow me to question this witness about the existence of Owen.
I suppose only this witness can confirm or deny the existence of Owen for us. Very well, I will allow the defense to proceed. For conquer.
I've never met any personality named Owen.
Patches was just blurting out nonsense in a panic.
We're almost aware, so we definitely notice if a personality like that showed up.
How dare you treat me like a criminal based on mere conjecture?
Wow, how am I supposed to deal with the testimony of 3 personalities?
Unless you can prove the existence of Owen here, it's all over. You'd best screw your courage to the sticking place and attack the testimony head on.
Alright, I will. Just stop piling the pressure on me. I have to draw out some info. Anything to drag Owen out into the open. Alright, let's hope this works. I've never met any personality named Owen.
Hold it!
Met, eh? Is that how we experience each other? Like people meeting on the street? Well, it's more like all 3 of us are always here. And the personality that's more suited to the moment is the one that comes out. So when you're out, Uendo, what are the other two doing? Well, we never know when our turn will come, right? So we stand by and listen. So that means all three of you share the same memories. I never really thought about it, but I guess that's right. I see. Thank you. Please continue.
Patches was just blurting out nonsense in a panic.
Hold it!
Patches, can I have a word with you, please?
Hee, hello! You rang?
You said at first that you didn't know anybody named Owen, but then you exercised your right to remain silent. Were you afraid of committing perjury?
Well, you see... I'll take over from here if you don't mind. Listen, I had to say it, but Patches is about as smart as a sack of rocks. If you grill him with a bunch of highfalutin words, he's gonna want to keep silent.
I see. So, looking after loose-tongued Patches is your role, is it, Miss Kusigawa?
Well, I don't know about that, but anyway, I do know that Patches was just flustered. That's why he decided to remain silent.
We're always aware, so we definitely notice if a personality like that showed up.
Hold it!
But what if, for some reason, you three were unconscious at the time of the incident? If the three of you weren't alert and aware, what would happen? What would happen? I'm not even sure what you mean. I mean, you three share the same memories, right? But what if Owen is different? What if he has memories separate from yours? Maybe Owen emerges when the three of you are unaware or unconscious. Instead of speaking as if this fourth personality is a foregone conclusion, I suggest you prove his existence first. Well, we've already seen three personalities. A fourth wouldn't be a stretch. You dishonor the victim and this court by jumping to such conclusions without proof. Have you ever heard these old saying, Prosecutor Sadmari? What happens twice will happen thrice? If you see one, there are likely 30 in your home. I'm basing my theory on such premises.
Comparing us to cockroaches? Do we bug you that much, girlie?
But how do you intend to prove it? How will you prove that all three personalities became unconscious, as you say? Unless you can do that, all of this talk is merely empty speculation.
Well, Don't be so timid. If you don't have it, then find it. Look for something that could render out Uendo and the others unconscious.
Simon's right. I can't back down now. My client, Mr. Whet, I have to. Wait, Mr. Whet?
Let me rest. Me beef hour, a lump of regular flour dough for udon noodles. But I'm fresh like my soba, and you don't let soba dough rest. Show about the three freshes. Grind the buckwheat seed fresh, cut the dough fresh, and boil the noodles. He's blacked out.
Mr. Whet, falling unconscious. Wait a minute, I think I've got it.
Miss Cykes, do you have proof to back up your theory?
Yes, Your Honor, I do. The proof is right here in this crime photo.
Is it? In that case, please point out to what supports your theory.
This, most likely, is what caused Uendo to lose consciousness. Uendo was most likely smacked over the head with this, and that's why he passed out. I maybe softened the noggin, but I don't see a single bruise on my head, do you? Well, then maybe it wasn't so much a smack as a swing and a miss.
Well, what a coincidence, defense. Your assertion was a swing and a miss, too.
Athena, Uendo didn't need to be hit over the head to lose consciousness. Lord knows Bucky has passed out several times today without being smacked.
Miss Cykes, please put out this proof of yours.
This, most likely, is what caused Uendo to lose consciousness. I don't know what I don't know what we're trying to do here. The drink.
Take that!
This is probably what made Uendo lose consciousness.
Ah, yes, the sake. And isn't it just like Master Toneido to pick a fine brand like Camel?
Sake? Oh, you mean rice wine?
Oh, please, don't call it rice wine. That's so unsophisticated. And it's not even wine. Ha! Silly girl. I must agree, you need to become more cultured, Athena.
Tomato, tomato. It's made of rice and people get drunk from drinking it, right?
It's called sake. End of story.
Fine, sake it is then. Ay caramba, everybody's so touchy about these things.
I recall Master Toneido would often have a drink or two before performing. He said it made him more eloquent. Drinking too much of the stuff can make one lose consciousness, though, of course.
And look, there were 2 glasses on the table. Uendo, I believe your master offered you some sake. And then you must have drank too much and passed out. That's when your 4th personality, Owen, emerged.
I drank sake. Oh, that's a good one.
If you have a real sweet tooth, you see. So, yes, we did accept a sugary red bean bun. But since we really disliked sake, we said no. Thank you to that.
Believe it or not, we're real weak when it comes to booze. Even a tiny drop can knock us right out.
So you see, I had a sweet manju bun, but I didn't drink any sake.
What? But that can't be right.
The defense demands that the glasses be examined right away.
You amateur, did you really think I had not already done so? Your foolishness is beyond the pale.
Don't tell me.
There was no trace of the witness having touched either of the glasses, naturally.
Right, of course.
Miss Cykes, would you like the witness's statement added to his testimony?
Yes, please, Your Honor.
Very well.
I had a sweet manju bun, but I didn't drink any sake.
Hold it!
So, if you had even a tiny sip of sake, you'd conk right out, eh? That's why you didn't touch the glass that Master Toneido offered, correct? Yes, that's right. Then maybe you ate something that had sake in it as an ingredient. I don't recall doing anything like that. He doesn't recall doing it. But that doesn't necessarily mean he didn't. He just might not have known that he did. I'd better take another good look at the evidence.
So, he didn't drink any sake, eh?
Oh boy, now we're in trouble.
That kind of answer is exactly what Side Monk keeps insulting you. Now use your head. There are countless ways Uendo could have gotten sake into his mouth besides drinking it.
Well, I don't know about the countless part,
but nothing. Give it some thought and you'll figure something out.
So, the witness must have had something that contained sake. Is there anything in the core record that hints at something like that?
How dare you treat me like a criminal based on mere conjecture?
Hold it!
Since nobody involved with this case is named Owen, we have to explore the possibility that he's a hidden 4th personality of yours. After all, the cards read Owen 4th. But how can you be so sure that's what the cards really mean? What else could they possibly mean? Well, for example, Owen's the 4th hitter. Who in the world is that?
He's a baseball player, a really great one too. Owen Gonzalez, 36 years old. He's a cleanup, 4th place hitter, of course.
If such a famous baseball player was there, hanging around in the theater, he would have drawn a lot of attention to himself, don't you think? Well then, how about this? Maybe it means ON4TH, like ION4000. Thousand.
And who is this mysterious N person?
What? N isn't a person. It was Shisho's favorite hobby shop, Enjoy. He was a huge model train character. I see. Maybe he owed the hobby shop some money, so he left a note to remind himself. In character cards on the table.
Shisho worked in mysterious ways.
Are you even taking this seriously?
I'm being completely serious. The point is, unforced could mean just about anything.
I suppose you're right. I guess I'd better approach this from a different angle. Okay. That's sweet manju bun, but I didn't drink any sake. I mean, isn't the bun also isn't it also camel brand? It's a camel brand camel brand sake, camel brand manju bun. So it's not out of the realm of possibility that it's infused with sake. Let's give it a shot.
Objection!
Knock knock, who's there? This evidence and that statement. This evidence and that statement who? They contradict each other, that's who. That's not even the proper call and response for a knock knock joke. And what's more, her claim does not even make any logical sense. Your performance merits neither applause nor leniency in defense. Okay. Of course it wouldn't be that easy. Alright. So, what could it be? What could have been infused with sake? Number of dumplings. That's gotta be related to something. How do we prove that the manju buns had sake in them? Soba glutton. I don't know what that is. What else do we have to present besides that? Besides the photo? Oh, I think I get it. Okay. Okay, so so are we to extrapolate that Geiru was feeding the dog all of the dumplings, so therefore there weren't any dumplings to eat? I don't know. That's a bit of a stretch, but
Objection!
okay, yeah. All right, fair enough. Okay. That one was a bit much. I'll give you that. Okay. But what else can we present then? The crime scene photo didn't work. Autopsy report, I doubt that's gonna work. Deed for a soba shop, I doubt that's gonna work. Could it really be this?
Objection!
Oh, come on. Give me a break. Come on. Alright. We'll hear the explanation after a bit. I'll be right back. Alright. So the fact that the description said that the note is thought to belong to the victim, then that means that it could also belong to Uendo. Was he the one that wrote the note? Why? Was he really resting in Shisho's room? Okay. We're about to find out. This shows what most likely made Uendo lose consciousness. That note. Are you feeling lightheaded, child? Or perhaps a bit peckish? I'm not hungry, and my head feels just fine, thank you very much. Look at the paper this note is written on. Isn't there something familiar about it? What exactly is your point, Defense? This faint design here reminds me of the paper from... Yep, It's a piece of the wrapping paper on the box of manju buns by the victim on the floor. Uendo, you may not have drunk any sake, but you did eat a sweet red bean bun, right? Well, yeah, that's right. I don't know if you are aware of it or not, Uendo, but I believe the manju you ate caused you to fall unconscious.
The bean bun? But how?
Because those buns contain a secret ingredient. A very punchy secret ingredient in that.
A punchy secret ingredient?
Yes. The design on the wrapping paper matches that of something else in the room.
It does?
The design on this object matches that of the manju box's wrapping paper. So why wouldn't the fucking photo work? Piece of shit game.
Take that!
The camel pattern. It's the same as the one for camel brand sake.
So, just as Uendo said, he didn't drink any sake per se, but he did eat some.
Impossible.
Uendo had a camel brand red bean bun, which boasts a nice shot of sake as one of its ingredients.
The defense is claiming that Uendo passed out after consuming a camel sweet bun, which allowed for a fourth personality named Owen to emerge. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor. That's exactly what I'm claiming.
There's one thing that bothers me. Wouldn't the alcoholic content of the buns evaporate as they are steamed?
In order to give them stronger flavor, some manju are especially made to retain as much of their alcoholic content as possible. What kind of lightweight do you think I am? Even I wouldn't pass out from eating a simple manju. Then how about we test that theory? What do you say, Your Honor?
Seeing is believing, as I say. Very well, I will allow a test.
Thanks, Your Honor. Simon, go buy some camel manju on the devil. And don't forget to give me one too, okay?
Why must I? And while you're at it, Prosecutor Blackwell, you will get one for me as well.
Not the courthouse table boy, you know. But just this once, I'll acquiesce. Taka, I'm counting on you. Seek. And all of you had better pay me back.
Oh, but I thought it would be your treat, Prosecutor Blackwell. What a shame. Now then, let us adjourn until the manju arrive by carrier hawk. Court will reconvene as soon as Taka returns.
To be continued. May 13th, District Court, Courtroom number 4.
Now that the sweet buns have arrived, this court is back in session.
Go on, Uendo, eat up.
Chop. Nice flavor. You can really taste the sake. That was delicious!
Yes, a unique sweetness and the faint aroma of sake. Yet, I hardly think that anyone could pass out from eating something like this. What's the matter, Uendo? You're not afraid of a tiny manju, are you?
Are you scared of how many calories it has?
Don't be ridiculous. A sweet little snack like this couldn't possibly... I mean, it could never... Less bleating, more eating, witness. Fine. Whatever. See, I told you. It don't affect me. This slight... We might be a lightweight, but come on, nobody's that lightweight. Seriously, don't make a suck of a... Looks like it worked.
Oh my! Witness, please serve the court your name and occupation.
Ooh, sniffle. Oh, sniffle. My name is Owen. I'm 5. You're 5 years old? Am I in trouble? Please don't yell at me. Oh.
So he's Uendo's fourth personality? I'd hardly think a child like him could have a motive to murder the victim. And even if he had a motive, could he have actually committed the murder? That's a very good point. Owen does appear to be very timid and weak.
Ooh.
It seems the defense was hoping this hidden personality would be the real killer. But now that he is standing here before us, it is clear that none of Uendo's personalities can be the killer.
Ick. Where can I even go from here? Shisho. Owen, do you know something about what happened to your master? Come on, buddy. Won't you tell Auntie Athena what happened? What a scary lady. I'm not scary. Look at Auntie's big smile. Tell me about your master, please. Pretty please with sugar on top. Oh, okay. Shisho was super nice. He always played with me. Just like a real grandpa. I love Shisho. Sniffle. Do you sense anything behind his words? I sense his sadness. Sadness so pure it's heart-rending. But no discord. Prosecutor Sadmati is right. Owen isn't the killer. But then, don't you find it odd? Find what odd? Let's review what we've learned so far. Uendo rearranged the character cards to pin the blame on Bucky. Well, that's because the original message implicated Owen. But Owen is only 5 years old and absolutely adores Master Toneido. Exactly. The other 3 personalities also have no motive for murder. If Owen isn't the true culprit, then the person who first laid out the cards probably wouldn't have been Master Toneido. So then, who did it?
Defense? Did the appearance of Owen help you figure anything out?
Yes, Your Honor. I now know who it was that first laid out the character cards.
But I thought it was the victim, right?
No, Your Honor. I don't believe it was. The one who first arranged the character cards on the table was none other than... Fifth personality. I believe the person who laid the cards out is the very person who killed Taifu Toneido.
How quickly you move on to a new target when your Owen theory proves false. You, Paul Conan?
I don't know what a Pokunin is, but I know I'm definitely not one. And before you start with the sermons, why don't you hear me out?
Yes, let's hear the defense's reasoning. Please proceed, Miss Cykes. But if you are bluffing, I won't go easy on you.
I understand, Your Honor. Now then, please recall the original crime scene. Who did the character cards name when this scene was discovered?
Let's see. I believe they implicated the defendant, Bucky Whet.
That's right. But when we found out that the message originally read Owen 4th,
which implicated the young boy, Owen.
exactly, and the person who rearranged the cards was undoubtedly Uendo. Uendo may have kept silent, but we can be sure he already knew his master was dead. His tampering with the crime scene using the TV all but proves it. I confess. I tampered with the crime scene. The reason Uendo rearranged the character cards and moved the TV was because he saw the Owen 4th message and was convinced Owen had committed the crime. Right on, Prosecutor Blackwell. It would seem that Owen and the other 3 personalities don't share the same memories. But really, there is no first personality. It's just the 3 of us in here. Uendo feared that Owen had killed Master Toneido, so he tried to hide Owen from us. Oh, sniffle. But it turns out Owen is but a 5-year-old child, incapable of hurting a fly, let alone his beloved master. So naturally, the culprit must be somebody else. And this somebody else, the true killer, tried to pin the crime on Owen. How can they do that to a 5-year-old?
I see. That does make sense. This is not but conjecture, composed of half-truths and fantasy. Who then do you maintain to murder the victim?
I believe Owen might know something about that.
I refuse to allow such impromptu testimony, and from a 5-year-old no less. Such a young child is incapable of producing anything coherent.
But
Your desperation is disgraceful. You should realize when it is time to let it go and...
I saw it. I saw Shisho getting... Owen, you do know something, don't you? Yeah.
Oh my, is this true? If so, we must have Owen testify immediately. Don't you agree, Prosecutor Satomati? It's alright, Owen. Go ahead and tell us what you know.
How old is the real Uendo again? 28. Yep. Shisho was standing with a knife in his hand. Blood was dripping on Shisho's face, getting it all red. I couldn't move at all. I was so scared I passed out. This is eyewitness testimony from the moment of the murder. Owen, can you tell us anything else about what you saw? I was so scared. Sniffle. Oh, so scared. Sniffle. Owen, his emotions are spiraling out of control. Something must have really frightened him.
Is he alright?
His emotions are running wild because he's trying to recall something frightening to him. I recommend a therapy session right away.
I see. Yes, please do whatever you can to help the poor boy.
Will do, Your Honor. I better find the cause of these out-of-control emotions pronto. Beep. Beep. Tick, tick, tick. Bow. Shisho was standing with a knife in his hand. Blood was dripping on Shisho's face, getting it all red. I couldn't move at all. I was so scared I passed out. Owen, is this why you felt so sad? Sniffle. Wah! Can't you be a bit gentle on him? He's just a 5-year-old. Come on, little one. Is this what made you so sad? Like you could do any better, Simon. Blame your shoddy answer, not me. Okay, I'll get it right next time. Why would he be sad? Okay. So the blood? It's nothing, I mean, what is there else to probe on here? There's only Owen and Shisho.
Got it.
Right. Yeah, blood was dripping down on Shisho's face. Blood? I don't remember seeing any blood in the crime scene photos. Besides, if the victim was standing upright, how could blood drip down onto his face?
As I expected, all we managed to obtain from this child is the tale he dreamt up.
I guess it's a little weird for blood to drip onto the victim's face if he's standing up. Unless it dripped down from the ceiling or something. What do you think, Simon? I don't know. Owen's one confused and upset kid right now, so who knows how accurate his memory is. Maybe it's time for that thing instead. What thing? That thing that you and your cohorts do. What do you call it? Rotate your thinking about? Oh, you mean turn your thinking around.
Yes, whatever. It's the same thing either way.
No, it isn't. Who's ever heard of rotating your thinking? I mean, rotate is... Hey, wait a minute.
What?
You know what, Simon? In this case, I think rotate just might work perfectly after all.
Come again?
All I have to do is rotate things by 90 degrees. When he saw his master, Owen must have been doing a handstand. Owen must have been lying on the floor when he witnessed his master's murder.
What?
That's the conclusion I arrived at when I rotated my thinking by 90 degrees, which means that all of the visuals in my matrix were off by 90 degrees.
And?
This means Master Tornado was also lying on the floor, which solves another mystery.
And which mystery is that?
The mystery of how blood could have been dripping onto the victim's face. It becomes much easier to imagine how that could happen if he was lying down. Like someone bleeding onto Master Tornado from somewhere above him? Up above him? Ah, I remember now. Somebody was sitting up on top of Shisho. So trying to record his master's bloody killer is what spooked Owen originally. The blood that stained the victim's face red came from the person sitting on top of him. The victim was holding a knife, so he likely nicked his attacker as he was fighting back. This means his assailant was injured on their face somewhere, like the forehead, perhaps? Assuming the victim and his attacker were face to face, then yes. I see. So that is what happened. But if I recall correctly, the accused has a French bandage on his forehead, does he not? That injury of Mr. Whet's is conclusive evidence that he committed this murder.
Why?
It seems you have dug yourself into a pit you cannot crawl out of. No. Even though I figured out the reason for Owen's out of control emotions, all I did was raise further suspicion against my own client. What do I do now?
What's the matter? You aren't thinking of throwing in the towel, are you?
But it looks so bad for Bucky. I mean, he had both motive and opportunity. Plus, he has that injury on his forehead. Your Honor, I sense that the defense is finally ready to let it go and move on.
Well, Miss Sykes, I understand that you don't want to give up on your card, but I won't allow you to prolong this trial without a good reason.
Well, that lawyer did her best, but all the signs point to the defendant's guilt.
Maybe it's time she gave up. She tried everything she could.
You might be a redneck.
I really don't want to back down, but...
Silence.
Athena, are you having doubts about Bucky's innocence?
I wouldn't say that. It's just...
Do you remember what you said to Bucky earlier this morning?
You mean you believe me, Mom?
Of course. No matter what, I'll believe in you to the very end.
Were those just empty words?
Of course not. It's just that all the cards are stacked against us.
Are you still stuck on that line of thinking? Motive, opportunity, and an injury to his forehead. Is that all it takes to make you stop believing in your client? Tell me again, who are you to Bucky?
I'm his Miss Chickadee lawyer.
Then do your duty and believe in him till the very end.
I will.
Sam is absolutely right. I'm Bucky's lawyer, and he's depending on me.
Defense, please, no fighting in my courtroom.
The defense is ready to resume, Your Honor. Prosecutor Blackhill was just giving me a pep talk, that's all. Thank you, Prosecutor.
I didn't do it for your sake. I did it for the future of Whet Server.
Yeah, I got it. The defense would like to now continue with Owen's therapy session.
Owen, would you be alright with that?
Okay. So, somebody was sitting up on top of Shisho, bleeding from their head, and smooshing something in Shisho's face. That's funny.
What is it?
I still hear discord in Owen's voice, but I don't sense any inconsistencies between his statements and his emotions. And there don't seem to be any contradictions in his testimony itself either.
Ah, so that's it, huh?
Did you figure something out?
Your ability to sense emotions is making you focus too much on his feelings, Athena. But there's actually something he's being very vague about in his testimony. If you can clarify what he's feeling uncertain about with some evidence, you should be able to move forward from there.
Okay, that makes sense. I'll give it a try. I'll just update the mood matrix with the new information, and then we'll be ready to go. So I just need to present some evidence on what Owens is being vague about, eh? The murder weapon, I guess. Shisho had blood on his face and a knife in his hand. He was on the floor, and somebody was motioning something into his face. I couldn't move at all. I was so scared I passed out. Okay. This is what he's being vague about, obviously, but what do we present? The crime photo?
Objection!
Okay. Let's put a name to the thing Owen's uncertain of, shall we? By identifying the murder weapon that was used to suffocate the victim. Fortunately for us, I spied the murder weapon right here in this crime scene photo.
Unfortunately for you, I spy nothing of the sort. And the police did not spy anything of the sort during their investigation either. Pray tell, where is this murder weapon you see?
You don't see it because it no longer looks the way it did when it was used as a weapon. This is what the killer pressed into Master Toneido's face. Oh. The soba.
Take that!
The mystery person that Owen saw pressed soba into the victim's face, thereby suffocating him.
I grow weary of your tasteless jokes. How could anyone commit murder with soft, delicate soba? The noodles would instantly fall apart if they were pressed into somebody's face. Yes, I agree.
Well, I disagree. There is a way the soba could have been used to suffocate the victim.
What? You will explain your theory at once, Miss Cykes.
To kill Master Toneido, the culprit must have smothered him with... The culprit must have used the soba before it was cut into noodles. In other words, the murder weapon was raw soba dough.
What? Order! Order in the court! Yeah, soba dough could definitely be used to suffocate someone, couldn't it?
Are you alright, Pascal Satmine?
I was just letting the soul of the victim know that the accused will finally face justice, thanks to the foolish lawyer before me.
What are you talking about?
Allow me to summarize your statements. As the accused was killing the victim, he was slashed in the face by the victim's knife. The weapon he used to suffocate the victim with was the dough in the dressing room. He then disposed of the murder weapon by cutting the soba dough into noodles.
Are you smell me?
Afterwards, the accused put the victim's face into the bowl of soba noodles and broth, to wash off the blood that had dripped onto the victim's face from his own. And there you have it, the true sequence of events behind this foul affair.
Now just wait a minute. I never once said that Mr. Whet was the culprit.
Who but the accused knows how to cut dough into noodles, defense? That's a very good point, Prosecutor Satmani. I heard that cutting soba dough into uniform noodles requires considerable training. But then, what about the dying message? How do you explain that? The defendant wouldn't have known about Uendo's own personality. Perhaps the victim was simply playing with the cards, and they hold no other meaning. Perhaps he spelled out Owen's name in jest, sometime before his murder. That's true. From Owen's testimony, it's clear that Master Toneido cared for the boy. It appears we've arrived at a compelling conclusion. Taken together, all of these points paint a convincing picture of the defendant's guilt.
Owen, is there anything else you can tell us? It doesn't matter how small of a detail, anything will do.
Oh, you're scaring me.
Oh, I'm sorry, Owen. Auntie Athena didn't mean to raise her voice. I have to be gentler with him. I can't forget he's only 5 years old. No need to be scared, okay, sweetie? Just tell us anything you can remember. Well, when I woke up, the person who killed Shisho was standing over me, bleeding from the head. Owen, you saw the killer's face. Oops, I did it again. So who was it, Owen? Do you remember? Ooh, I don't know who it was. I'm picking up some noise. That means there's still something to uncover in Owen's testimony.
I don't know what Owen saw, but suffice it to say, we are analyzing the dreams of a child. You've wasted enough of our time, Defense. Let it go and move on.
No, there's still discord in Owen's heart that needs to be addressed. Therefore, I can't give in here.
Owen, do you think you can continue your testimony for us?
Sniffle, okay. I'll enter the new info and run an update then. Shisho had blood on his face and a knife in his hand. He was on the floor and somebody was smooshing down into his face. I couldn't move at all. I was so scared I passed out. And when I woke up, the person who killed Shisho was standing over me. Despite witnessing the culprit's terrible crime firsthand, Owen experienced a positive feeling. One of relief?
The person the witness saw was no stranger. Rather, it was the accused. Therefore, it is only natural that he felt some level of relief when he saw a familiar face. Defense, end this madness and sully your soul no more.
Owen, who did you see? That nice smell. I love the smell of that perfume.
Perfume, you say? Where have I heard that before?
It's smell of... You can do it. Try to remember, Owen. Oh, the smell of... Owen? He's gonna wake up, isn't he?
Seems Owen is now resting in the infirmary. They certainly have their hands full today down there. Let's continue with the trial. Despite Owen's testimony, it is the opinion of this humble servant of the Holy Mother that the child's words were insufficient to clear the accused of suspicion.
But what about the scented perfume Owen mentioned? I believe it's a clue that will lead us to the true culprit.
But there are thousands of perfumes in the world. It could even be the scent of the hair product the accused uses. He does have one amazing hairstyle, so that's certainly possible. The witness is a 5-year-old boy. He cannot tell the difference between conventional perfumes and hair products.
Arg, why couldn't you have gone for a coup cut or something, Bucky?
What's more, the only person who can cut soba noodles with such precision is the accused, and no other.
Oh man, how am I supposed to argue with that?
And so, the person Owen saw at the scene of the crime can only be the accused Bucky Whet.
What the?
Hey! I never use hair products or anything I smell. If I were something like that, it smell good to the sober. Boom! Check it! Yeah.
Mr. Wet, aren't you supposed to be resting in the infirmary?
Whatever. You think I'd let my soba stink of perfume? Try that chilled soba for yourself and see. I believe you have no choice but to try it. Strictly for examination purposes, of course. Now then, let's dig in, shall we? That was delightful. Well, Well, I'm satisfied that there are no traces of hair products or perfumes in Mr. Whet's soba. First, sweet bean buns and now savory soba. What a delectable trial this has been. This texture is different from the soba I had the other day. It reminds me of a dish we have in Korean called banupon. What you think, Miss Chickadee? My soba's pretty good, isn't it? Oh.
It's delicious, don't you think so, Simon?
It still pales in comparison to his late father's cuisine.
Sammy, why you always can't be so hard on me? Bailiff, take the defendant back to the infirmary at once for some rest. Rest? Hey, I ain't a lump of plain old wheat out you don't do, you know. I'm fresh like my soba. You know what soba don't rest? It's about the 3 freshness of soba. Grind the seed fresh, cut the dough fresh, and boil the noodle. Good grief, what a defendant.
At least Bucky wasn't the source of the perfume smell. Wait, smelly perfume.
Looks like you remembered something.
The free smelly perfume reminded me of a certain somebody.
Oh, and who might that be?
There's only one person that comes to mind. The free smelly perfume reminds me of this person.
Take that!
Geiru Toneido? Yes, she did smell very nice, didn't she? Just a moment, defense. You won't throw suspicion on Geiru now because of a scent. Your Honor, there's no need to go along with these ever-changing claims of the defense. I suppose their claims have been awfully inconsistent.
But Geiru could have been at the crime scene.
Yes, but...
You'll get to see those balloons of hers if we call her back to the witness stand.
How vulgar! His Honor is not interested in such things. Setting the matter of her balloons aside entirely, I do believe it's appropriate to ask Geiru some questions, given the circumstances. This has nothing to do with her balloons, of course.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Polkunka!
Thank you for calling this disciple of the Toneido School of Rakugo back for an encore. It's me, the balloon artist y'all know and love, Geiru Toneido. 1, 2, boom!
What wonderful balloon artistry.
Your Honor, please. Now then, what would you like me to make for you this time? Actually, I called you back for more testimony. But I'm all talked down. This case has left me completely deflated. What? You didn't find that funny? Anyway, what exactly is going on, Simon?
It seems the person who murdered Master Toneido was wearing perfume.
And you are the only person I can think of who wears perfume. Wait, you mean I'm a suspect now? Geiru, you knew about Owen, right? Well, yeah, I often played with him at Shisho's request. So that means you could have left that fake dying message, right? What? Just because I wear perfume and know Owen, you think I'm a murderer? Oh, how could you?
The witness is absolutely right. With no evidence but the distorted memories of a small child. It is outrageous of the defense to accuse this woman.
That's right. You don't even have any proof.
You may step down from the stand, Geiru. The defense does not have one scrap of evidence that connects you to the crime.
Wait just 1 minute. I may not have proof, but Owen's testimony is still...
Enough! Please feel free to leave, Geiru.
But I'm so close. There must be something I can do. Well, if the prosecutor says it's okay, then I guess I'll be going now.
Silence.
Hoy, Geiru, you're an entertainer, aren't you? Once you go on stage, it's your duty to complete your performance, is it not? So what are you doing leaving halfway through?
There's bandages on Geiru's forehead. Since we know the Master Toneido's killer has a cut on their face somewhere,
Impossible!
How did you know, Simon? I didn't, but I had to take a chance and see for myself. Otherwise, your theory would remain a groundless accusation. Your Honor, Prosecutor said Marty, the scent of perfume, an injury on the forehead. These things are completely consistent with Owen's testimony. In short, the mysterious individual Owen saw in the dressing room could have been Geiru.
Besides, does this mean you are formally indicting this witness for the murder of Taifu Toneido? Should your accusation prove to be false, I hope you are prepared to pay the price in full.
Simon, what price is he talking about? I thought that should be obvious. Prosecutor Sadmonk is saying he'll see to it you never stand in a court of law again. I must say, though, he knows how to make a trial interesting. Just whose side are you on, Simon? Go on, then. Into the deep end with you. You really have but one choice, anyway.
Well, Miss Sykes, I'm waiting.
With regards to the witness, Geiru Toneido, the defense wishes to... There's no reason for me to hold back. Not if I really believe in my client. The defense wishes to formally indict Geiru Toneido for the murder of Taifu Toneido.
I have tried to be merciful, but now not even your pleas will reach the Holy Mother's ears. You will have plenty of time to regret your decision in the pit of hell.
Except I won't need to. The person who murdered the victim was not Mr. Whet. It was Geiru Toneido. Yeah, Pat, it's just from a silly slip-up I made while cooking yesterday, that's all. What kind of extreme cooking were you doing to cut yourself on the forehead? Well, what can I say? That's what happened. You also don't have an alibi for the period before 4 p.m., do you, Geiru? But I really didn't know anything was wrong until Shisho was found dead. If you don't believe me, then with a twist. And balloon, there you have it, an adorable little kitty. How could you expect a cutesy little balloon artist like me, huh? Geiru, I've been meaning to say this for a while now, but could it be that you don't have an eye for balloon art? Don't you think I know that? You didn't have to come out and say it. I'm the daughter of a great rakugo artist. I never wanted to do stupid balloon art. I was supposed to be a rakugo storyteller too, just like my late daddy. But Shisho told me to do balloon art instead. Sniffle. I guess the victim thought she had no talent as a rakugo artist either. So you're still gonna suspect a poor little thing like me? Please stop trying to skirt the issue. It all comes down to the scent of perfume and the cut on your forehead. You and the culprit in Owens' testimony share these two traits. You're dead set on accusing me, aren't you? Well, here's what I have for naughty little girls like you, with a twisty twist. I'ma cut you, witch! Go ahead, make me testify you want. When the truth is revealed, it'll be your balloon of mine that goes pop. Got it?
Oh boy, is this yet another hidden personality?
Simon, is everybody in the Toneido school like this? How should I know? Yeah, I visited the dressing room during that time to make a courtesy call after my act. Shisho and Owen were in there, but they were both snoring up a storm. I saw the note Shisho left, so I just left. Didn't want to disturb him, you know. Perfume Owen smell must have been left over when I visited. Uh-huh. So Geiru's saying she went into the dressing room, but then left right away. Huh, don't take her at her word. Come on, do you really think I would? I'm just trying to figure out how to get her to talk about what really happened.
Now then, Miss Sykes, you may proceed with your cross-examination.
Alright, here we go. Excuse me. Yeah, I visited the dressing room during that time to make a courtesy call after my act.
Hold it!
A courtesy call after your performance, huh? Come to think of it, Uendo mentioned making the same kind of visit. Yeah, a visit to your master before and after your routine. That's just common courtesy with us rakugo artists and entertainers. So that means you pay the victim a courtesy call before your performance too, right? What did you see at that time?
He was having a drink and getting himself into a festive mood. He liked to say the drinker gave him a silver tongue.
So he was already drinking by then.
Uendo wasn't there in the dressing room yet at that time. He must have gone in there during my act, because when I went back, Shisho and I weren't there, but they were both snoring up a storm.
Could you describe how they appeared?
They were both stretched out on the floor, snoozing away.
So sitting the victim up and over the table must have been the culprit's doing. After all, who wouldn't stretch out on the floor if they could take a nap? Plus, that matches up with what Owen said in his testimony. But if he was asleep, how could you tell it was Owen? How did you know it was in Uendo?
I've known the guy for ages. One look at his face and I know which one I'm dealing with.
I see.
I saw the note Shisho left, so I just left. Didn't want to disturb him, you know.
Where did you find your master's note?
I don't know. Can't remember.
Did you notice anything else unusual or out of place in the room?
Well, there was a sake and a half-eaten manju on the table. But I didn't see anything else out of place or whatever in the room, though.
Oh, is that a fact?
Of course it is. What you think?
And you didn't change anything around while you were in there? I didn't do anything. Look, I'm telling you. I didn't see anything funny near Shisho, and I didn't touch anything in the room. Your boldness. I request that Geiru's last statement be added to her testimony.
Simon, what's a statement like that going to do for us?
Just play along and you'll see soon enough.
I have no problem with adding that to the testimony, but how about you, Miss Cykes?
I have no problem with it either, Your Honor. What is Simon thinking?
I didn't see anything funny near Shisho when I didn't touch anything in the room.
So I just want to confirm, you didn't see anything at all unusual or out of place anywhere around the victim?
I already told you. Nothing.
And you didn't touch anything at all in the dressing room?
How many times I gotta say it? No, I didn't touch anything.
Wait, but then she's saying she didn't see what Uendo immediately saw when he checked the victim's body? Does that mean it wasn't there yet at that time?
Oh, hold on. I guess there was something.
What is it?
The soap making equipment was already there in the room. That means Bucky must have been there in the dressing room before me, doing something.
Thanks for the non-help. Well, a new statement has been added, but she's still sticking to her guns.
She said she didn't see anything unusual in the dressing room. But that strikes me as a little strange on its own.
Really? Why?
If Master Toneido really is the one who left that, you'd think Geiru would have noticed it. And if Master Toneido wasn't the one who left it, then we must ask who did. You know what I'm getting at, don't you, Athena?
I think so. I really appreciate Simon's help, but I've got to come up with the answer myself this time.
The perfume Owen smelled must have been left over from when I visited.
So you admit that the scent Owen smelled when he witnessed the crime was from your perfume?
Yeah, sure, why not? All it proves is I was in the dressing room anyway.
It don't do a thing to prove I killed Shisho.
That would be true, but...
Bucky is the one who bumped off Shisho.
I didn't see anything funny near Shisho, and I didn't touch anything in the room.
Okay, just to make sure. There we go, the photo again. Geiru, you said that you didn't notice anything odd or unusual near your master. You also said you didn't touch anything in the dressing room.
That's right. What about it?
Then I wonder who left that dying message with the character cards.
What are you going about? It ain't been that Bucky.
Sorry, but that's not possible. Because only 3 people knew of Uendo's personalities. Uendo, your master, and you.
if Bucky had left that character message. He wouldn't have spelled out Owen. He would have spelled out Uendo.
What it boils down to is this. As a member of the Toneido school, you, Geiru Toneido, are the only one who could have left that dying message. And as the person who left that message, it's clear that you are Master Toneido's killer.
Will you ever stop? Will you ever quit yapping?
You are like wretches clinging to the spider thread of salvation. Allow me to cut that holy thread from the heavens and bring you back down to earth.
Would you quit butting in whenever things start to go my way?
Silence, child. Playtime is over.
What did you just say?
As the witness stated, she went into the dressing room and soon came back out again. But the victim's note was not the only reason she left with such haste. There was another reason that compelled Geiru to leave at once. Geiru, would you please relate said reason to the court?
There was a reason why Geiru had to leave the dressing room.
Well, I don't want to show you this, but I guess I got no choice. Keep your eyes peeled, 'cause here it comes.
Your hand is all swollen red. What happened, Geiru?
If you must know, I'm allergic to buckwheat.
Allergic reactions to buckwheat can vary, though they are usually on the severe side. With Taifu Toneido making soba noodles in his dressing room, Geiru is lucky to still be alive, considering all the soba flour that was swirling in the air.
Good thing I left pretty quick. I managed to escape with just a mild reaction. But I touched Shisho as he was being carried away, and look what it did to my poor hands. There must have been soba broth on his clothes or something. If I'd inhaled any of that soba flour, I'd have had a Shisho. It'd have been good, not Geiru. I never could have stayed in that dressing room for very long.
A person allergic to buckwheat couldn't be in a room with soba flour in the air. But certainly couldn't use soba dough as a murder weapon either. This isn't good.
You knew it would come to this, didn't you? That's why you never mentioned her allergy.
As if I would do anything so underhanded. I was simply trying to protect the privacy of this witness.
I'm sick of all these accusations. Why don't I just testify and get it all out in the open, yeah?
I mean, surely if you're wearing gloves, as long as there's no, skin contact, surely there wouldn't be a reaction, right? I don't know. I genuinely don't know.
If I come into the slightest contact with buckwheat, I get an allergic reaction. And with that much soba flour in the air, that room could have literally killed me. Look at my hand. Just as the Shisho's body caused this much damage. There must have been soba broth on his clothes. So I never could have committed that murder in that dressing room.
I still can't believe it. Nobody told me she had a soba allergy.
Did you know something?
Does it look like I knew? Protect the privacy of the witness, my foot. What a dirty trick.
No, what do we do?
There's only one thing to do. Put Prosecutor Sadmonk to shame with your cross-examination.
Right. No matter how small, I'll find us an opening and break her testimony down. I don't think that there's any soba broth on his clothes, though I can't tell for certain, but there is soba broth on the cards, however, and on the dough, of course. Room is covered in soba flour. There are 2 drink cans in the fridge. TV can be used to monitor the stage from dressing room. The two is making soba noodles from scratch. I mean, would gloves work? Is there like some sort of I don't know, like a suppressant, something that you can take to minimize the reaction? You know, something like that. I don't know.
If I come into the slightest contact with buckwheat, I get an allergic reaction.
You're not lying about this herb allergy of yours, right?
Of course not. I swear on the grave of my father up in heaven. I can even get you a doctor's certificate if you want.
She seems to be telling the truth.
I've had this allergy for as long as I can remember, but I never dreamt in a million years it'd clear me of murder.
It'll come out of the smelling like a delicate buckwheat flour to boot.
Well said, Your Honor.
And with that much sober flour in the air, that room could have literally killed me.
I'll give you that there was quite a bit of flour scattered about in that dressing room, but you went in to pay your respects to your master regardless, right?
Yeah, but like I said, I came right back out. I mean, the sober making tools were right there. You better believe I was careful not to breathe any of it in.
But you still could have committed this crime if you had held your breath while doing it.
Don't be ridiculous. I would have suffocated to death before Shisho did.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Jeez, get a grip, will you? Look at my hand. Just touching Shisho's body caused this much damage.
Maybe there's a twist here. Like you're actually allergic to dogs and not sober.
You kidding? Bring my little Jigamo in here. Bring my little Jigamo in here. I'll hug and squeeze him like there's no tomorrow. I'm telling you, I have a genuine, honest-to-goodness sober allergy.
Defense. The witness clearly has an authentic allergy to buckwheat. Any further deliberation on the matter would be meaningless. Pointless. Worthless.
You heard the man, lower girl.
All right, fine. I was just starting to think the same thing myself. Doesn't mean I have to like it, though.
I probably got this allergic reaction on my hand here because I touched Shisho. There must have been sober broth on his clothes.
I have a question about that, actually. If you were allergic to soba, does that mean you're allergic to the noodle broth, too?
Well, the buckwheat from the noodles can dissolve into the broth, so duh. Touching soba broth can be just as deadly for me. Don't you know anything? What an amateur.
I'm sorry. Do I look like a doctor to you?
Look, anything that has soba in it, or anything that has touched soba, is like poison to me.
So I never could have committed that murder in the dressing room?
So, I just want to cover all of my bases, but could the murder have possibly occurred somewhere other than the dressing room?
Objection.
That is out of the question. By even asking, you show your complete disregard for all we have discussed until now. Yes, I have to agree. The defense can't go around suggesting new premises without basis.
Unfortunately for you, Shisho didn't take a single step from his dressing room around the time of the murder.
Well, that is unfortunate for everyone.
Geiru could not have possibly committed this crime in a room where soba was being made. Finally, the time has come for the last rites of the victim to begin.
What would Mr. Wright do at a time like this? Off gets. There's only one thing to do.
What are you smiling about? Has the pressure overwhelmed you?
Nope. It's just the worst of times are when lawyers have to force their biggest smiles.
I see. You have your rebuttal, and so the only thing left to you is to smile.
Oh, that's where you're wrong. I do have a rebuttal. I'll just get back to you. I'll get back to you in a couple of minutes. Turn your thinking around, Athena. Don't try to figure out how Geiru, who is allergic to soba, could commit the crime. Figure out how Geiru could be in that room and not have an allergic reaction instead.
Let me rest. Ha! Maybe if I were to lump a regular flour dough for udon noodles. But I'm fresh like my soba, and you don't let soba dough rest. So about the 3 freshes. Grind the buckwheat seeds fresh, cut the dough fresh, and boil the noodles oh!
He's backed out.
It appears to have been written by the victim. Allow me to read it. Resting, do not disturb.
Yes, that's the note I saw. After reading that, who wouldn't think Shisho was napping? You must know, I'm allergic to buckwheat.
Mon Dieu! What if that certain piece of evidence doesn't mean what we think it means? If that's the case, I may be able to prove that Geiru could have committed this crime.
No matter how hard you search your mind, you cannot overturn facts. Well, Miss Sykes, if you have no further objections, I'll hand down my ruling.
True, I can't overturn facts, but what if we got our facts about a piece of evidence wrong?
Got our facts wrong. What are you talking about now? Which piece of evidence do you mean, Miss Sykes? Please put it out to this court.
This evidence proves that Geiru could have killed her master even with her soba allergy. I'm not really following. Are the noodles not made out of buckwheat? They're made out of something else? But how do we prove that? Was he? Oh, was he maybe? Was he resting and as he was resting, she came in and shoved his head into the dough, so she didn't have to touch the dough. She was holding his face, pushing it into the dough, killed him, and then left or something. I don't know. Is that it? It's Master Toneido's note.
The note? Preposterous. What possible connection could there be between the witness's allergy and that note?
The answer lies in the true meaning of this note.
Its true meaning?
This note does not mean I am resting, do not disturb, as we had assumed. But rather, it actually means this dough is resting, do not disturb it. Wait a minute, Athena. That doesn't make any sense. You're right, it does not. After all, as Bucky told us many a time, you don't let soba dough rest.
What's all this jibber-jabber got to do with anything?
This is it, the home stretch. This note and Mr. Whet's words have led me to the conclusion that Master Toneido was not making anything. You don't let soba dough rest. So he wasn't making soba noodles, he was making udon noodles. The victim, Taifu Toneido, was not making buckwheat noodles. He was making ordinary udon noodles instead. That layer of flour in the dressing room wasn't soba flour, but plain old wheat flour for udon. So actually, it was totally possible for Geiru to be in that room and kill her master.
What? But that's true. It changes everything.
Your Honor, the defense requests that the flour in the room be tested immediately.
But soba noodles were found in the bowl, and Geiru did have a reaction on her hand. How do you explain those things?
Well...
Even with udon flour instead of soba, you still cannot prove Geiru committed the crime.
But...
Don't lose your nerve now. Keep charging forward or you'll feel my blade at your back.
Enough with the threats already. I got it. Talk about pressure. Alright, Athena. Take a deep breath and go over everything again. There we go. I'm going to revisualize the case from start to finish. I have to find conclusive evidence that Geiru committed this murder. What was Master Toneido making in his dressing room? By my logic, Master Toneido must have been making udon noodles in his dressing room, but something at the crime scene indicates otherwise. What was found in the bowl on the table? Even though the master wasn't making soba noodles were found at the scene. That means the noodles had to have come from somewhere. Wait a minute, one mysterious serving of soba noodles? That sounds familiar. Where did the soba in the bowl on the table come from? The catering service brought it. Wait a minute, it was a catering service, then somebody must have delivered it. And nobody testified about any delivery person, so that means... Where did the soba in the bowl on the table come from? Oh, from the fridge? Oh. Okay, maybe. Yeah, maybe. The soba noodles found at the scene were from the master's stock of uncooked noodles. But then, why would the culprit go out of her way to cook that soba and put it in the bowl? Why did the culprit cook the soba noodles and put them in the bowl? Soba was found at the scene, so that means the culprit must have taken the udon with her to hide it. But why did the culprit take the udon away and hide it? It must have been because she... That's it! The udon dough was the real weapon used to kill Taifu Toneido. And the reason why no weapon was found is because Geiru got rid of the dough somehow. The real murder weapon was the udon dough the victim made. If we can find this dough, that'll prove my theory correct. And undeniably prove Geiru's guilt.
Even if we could find this dough, what makes you think that would prove she is the one?
Please recall Owen's eyewitness testimony, Prosecutor Satomati. If the injury on Geiru's forehead was caused by the victim's knife, then Geiru's blood must have dripped down onto the dough used as a murder weapon. That would make the dough pretty conclusive evidence, wouldn't you agree?
Ah, but where is this conclusive evidence? Let us hear your theory on where this murder weapon is.
Well, it's... If I can't find the answer and the evidence I have on hand, we'll lose the trial. So how did Geiru get rid of the udon dough? Think, Athena. What do I have that points to suspicious behavior on Geiru's part?
Now then, Miss Cykes, let's hear your answer. Where is the real murder weapon hidden?
In her boobs.
Nice barking you did there. I assume you have the bite to back it up.
Stop distracting me, especially not right now. This piece of evidence can point us to the location of the hidden murder weapon. This piece... Oh! She buried it in the yard? Oh, she made a bunch of... dumplings with it. And gave it to her dog. Okay, so... So would the map work or the statement? Let's try the statement first.
Take that!
Geiru? Huh? What is it? I'm just an innocent girl. Don't know anything about a murder. Stuff that cute hat in your balloon hat. Geiru got rid of the dough she used to kill Master Toneido in a bold and daring way. She did it right in front of Prosecutor Blackwell's nose by feeding it to her dog. No! Of course, now it all makes sense. I was puzzled as to why Geiru, who should know her own dog's eating habits, would feed Jugamo more than he could possibly finish. Your Honor, please order an investigation of the yard right now.
And what should the police at the theater be looking for exactly?
Jugamo must have buried his leftover dumplings somewhere around his doghouse. Dumplings that Geiru made out of the udon dough with her blood on it.
This is preposterous.
I want to thank you, Simon. If you hadn't kept me going, I might have given up along the way. What are you blathering on about? You still have work to do. Now, borrow your hand. Finish this wretched case off, Athena. You got it. Geiru, do you remember what you said would happen when the truth is finally revealed? When the truth is revealed... Hey, y'all. When the truth's revealed, it'll be your balloon of mine that goes pop. Got it? Well, now the truth is out, and it looks to me like it's your balloon that goes pop.
Not again!
Go, go. I'm a rakugo. I was the one who's supposed to inherit that name. But then Shisho. Why are my balloons bursting? Daddy, are you mad at me? I've been a bad girl. Oh. Are you ready to Are you ready to tell us everything now, Geiru? The whole reason I entered the world of rakugo in the first place was to follow in my father's wonderful footsteps and inherit his stage name. His stage name? You don't mean Uendo Toneido? I knew I wasn't very good at storytelling, but I thought that if I did the stupid balloon thing like Shisho wanted, I'd inherit the name someday. But Master Toneido gave the name to his junior disciple. Yeah, that's why I took my revenge on Shisho during the show celebrating the name of succession. So that was your entire motive? I doubt anybody else could understand, but inheriting my father's name was everything to me. It was my whole reason for living. For all the days you could have taken your revenge, why did you choose the day of the show? Because I wanted to pay Uendo back for stealing what was rightfully mine. I wanted to pin the blame on him at the show where all the Toneido fans were gathered. But then Uendo tried to shift the blame onto Bucky Whet, and now we know the whole story. And there's just one more thing I want to know. Did you know Master Toneido was making udon in his dressing room yesterday? No, I didn't. When I saw the soba making tools, I was worried about my allergy. But it was my only chance to get my revenge on the two of them, so I went ahead and did it. So, it was a premeditated crime, but in the end, you only went through with it on impulse. And then, the allergic reaction on your hand. Is it from touching the soba in the refrigerator with your bare hands? When you were tampering with the crime scene after your master's death? Yeah. By that time, I wasn't clear-headed enough to worry about my allergy. Geiru, how could you do all this, you idiot? Geiru, I get your desire to inherit your father's name. But what you really should have inherited from wasn't his name, but his heart.
his heart.
Do you have anything to add, Prosecutor Sadbadi? Any objections? No, Your Honor.
Miss Athena Cykes. Yes, that's the first time he's used my name. I shall be sure to remember your name. Really? It seems he finally recognizes you as a proper adversary. Thanks. That's all I ask, Prosecutor Sadmani.
So there are no further objections. Bailiff, please bring in the defendant. Ah, good. It seems you have made a full recovery. Now then, this court finds the defendant, Bucky Whet, not guilty. This court is adjourned.
May 13th, 11:55 a.m. District Courtroom, Defendant Lobby Number 3. 6. Oh. Congratulations, Bucky. I'm so glad you're found innocent.
Thanks for everything, Miss Jiggity.
But it still sucks you that you were accused of a crime you didn't commit. Did the Uendo have it out for you or something?
I don't think so. Uendo said it was a spur-of-the-moment idea he got when he saw the Cerber-themed cards.
Simon, where have you been?
I stopped in at Uendo's questioning. Only you, Bucky, could get framed for a crime on a whim.
No way. I almost got convicted out of convenience.
Well, at least you've been completely cleared off all charges, so back up, Bucky. On a more important note, what I really want to know is, why didn't Master Toneido let Geiru inherit her father's name?
What you mean on a more important note, Miss Jiggity?
Oh, don't be such a wet blanket. Just go with the flow. Now, come on. You think the Master was trying to encourage her to quit the entertainment business?
No, that's not it. He didn't give the name to her because he wanted Geiru to find her own calling in life. To perform whatever she wanted without being bound by her father's name or rakugo. Making udon was his way of showing his support for her in her new endeavor.
So that's why he called you to the theater, huh? To teach him how to make udon.
A more roundabout way I've never seen. But that's Master Toneido for you.
So this entire incident happened because of a misunderstanding. How sad.
By the way, Geiru wasn't the only person Master Toneido was trying to cheer on. Even though the person in question still seems unaware of the Master's intentions.
What? You talking about me? Come on, no way. All that old man ever did was criticize my soba.
That's not true, Bucky. There must be a way to make Bucky see just how much Master Toneido cared about him.
Take that!
Take a good look, Bucky. Whose name is on there as the holder of this title deed?
It's still in my name. Master Toneido was just up to one of his tricks when he said he stole the shop from you. He's trying to force you to grow into a truly capable owner in your father's stead.
He probably used some tough love on you so that the shop wouldn't just go belly up.
Oh. I see. I never knew. Oh, Master Toneido. I'm so sorry.
Keep working hard, Bucky, and pay him back by living up to his expectations.
Thanks, Simon. And you too, Miss Chickadee. Oops. One day, my soba's gonna be so good, it'll knock that old man's socks clean off. After all, I'm the 4th generation owner of wet soba. What noodle number 4? Well, better get back to my shop. Gotta get ready for the lunch rush.
Hold on. Can I place an order for delivery, Bucky?
Yes, Miss Chickadee.
Could you deliver a bowl of udon to Geiru on behalf of her master?
You got it. I'll make sure it's got all the TLC Master Toneido would have packed in too.
Thank you.
I'll see ya. Be sure to drop by the shop sometime.
I will. And I'll bring the whole agency with me.
It was all pride, Bucky.
I'll have the best sober in town waiting for you when you come. Peace out.
It's nice to see somebody giving it their all, isn't it? I wonder if I leveled up any thanks to this case.
Don't kid yourself. The trial would have been a spectacle and a half had I not been by your side.
You don't know that.
For a lawyer who's versed in psychology, you're too full of weak points. You need to learn to analyze yourself more objectively.
Or you could just teach me your famous mind trick, Simon.
No.
Way to shut someone down. And why not?
Because the more pesky lawyers there are, the harder my job becomes. So it's in my best interest for you to remain green forever.
Hey, what about what's in my best interest, huh? Besides, weren't you the one who had the wool pulled over your eyes by Uendo?
Must you remind me? How could I have known Uendo would do time server?
Hey, speaking of time server, I just thought of something funny.
Oh, goody. I can't wait.
Okay, here it is. In time server, why didn't more number 9 get counted? Come on. Do you know, Simon?
How should I know?
Because 789. Thank you. I'll be here a week. Rottoful.
That I should have known. Come on, let's go get sober or something and go home.
Your treat?
I'll treat you to 50% of the tab, and don't forget, you still owe me for that manju.
Really, Simon? It wouldn't hurt for you to pay for me every once in a while, you know?
Quit squawking and start walking, Athena.
Hey, wait for me! I may still have a ways to go as a lawyer, but just like Mr. Wright, Apollo, and Simon before me, I'm going to get there someday. After all, I've inherited their passion for our courts and the law. Je peux le faire. I can do this. The end.